my shorts.
Welcome to the Dave Lee Down Under podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Dave Lee, and this is episode 30! Woo! Woo! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you, everyone! Just cut it out! That's enough! Oh, 30 episodes. Can you believe it?
And I thought you would have, after 30 episodes, you would have done an opening without spilling water.
I know, still screwing up. Hey, because it's the 30th episode, we're going to have a huge show. The whole show is just going to be like my 30 favourite moments from the last year. That's all the show's going to be. That's it. Just best bits. No, not really. We're not that lazy. Not that lazy.
Well, maybe.
Or maybe a little bit. Of course.
Sometimes.
Of course, you can join us every single Monday here on the podcast. Goes out every single Monday on all the major podcasting platforms. That includes Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Audible. The video element, the visual element, goes out on YouTube as well. Very same day. But if you're a patron supporter, you can get your early access for as little as $1 a month. How good is that?
Cheaper.
Yeah, the jokes keep rolling. 30 shows in.
The same joke for
the
30
same
episodes.
joke.
And it's going to continue for another 30.
Yay! What was I going to say? Yeah, so if you want to support the podcast and Dave Lee Down Under for as little as $1 a month, you can get your early access to the podcast on the Saturday, 2 days early. We have migrated the video podcast to a second channel now, so all the podcasts can be found on the Dave Lee Down Under podcast channel. That's linked down in the bottom below. You can find me on YouTube at Dave Lee Down Under, like the main channel, of course, over on Twitter, Instagram. Links for all those down at the bottom as well. If you want to write into the show, you can shoot me an email at daveleepod@gmail.com. And if you're listening on the podcast platforms, we like reviews.
Only good ones.
Only the good ones.
Don't want shit ones.
We don't want shit ones because it brings the ratings down.
Got to keep the rating up.
Yeah, I know, 4.9. Hey, but if you look at it on Apple Podcast, it still says 5.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's nice.
Depends on the service you look at. So technically still a 5-star podcast.
Yeah, now you're going to get somebody going there and they'll put his shit.
Yeah, don't be a jerk about it. Don't be a jerk about it. Good reviews only. I probably shouldn't be saying that.
No, you shouldn't be.
Like, good reviews we like.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't like bad ones.
No.
Don't be a jerk.
No.
Plain and simple. Of course, I'm joined once again by old mate Rick.
Hey, Dave.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Hope everyone's well. Keeping safe, all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
We are. We're having a great
right.
time here in Melbourne. We're sort of out and free, and it's good now.
Well, yeah.
For now.
For now.
Apart from the story on the news last night about traces of the virus in our sewage system, and the area we live in is one of the areas that are
hotspots. Well, sort of around the hotspot area.
It's sort of like
the be warned zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Be careful.
If you have the mildest of symptoms, go and get checked.
Yeah, Lord Almighty.
Anyway,
yeah, it's okay. It's going okay.
As of 2 weeks ago, we didn't have it, so
no. Well, because we got tested, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went to the football last week, so who knows?
Oh, yeah, gosh, 85,000 people.
78,000.
But same.
Exactly.
A lot of people. But it's been all right. We've been lazy again this week. Ain't been doing a lot.
Nah, stuff all.
Yeah, I've been doing a little work, trying to get the next evolution out. I only just done one a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to have another one like in a week's time. Oh, that's a shot. That's a revelation. I haven't said anything about that.
Oh,
I'll announce that probably.
But not
this
put
week.
your foot in your mouth again.
Well, yeah, no, it should get done. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know. Yeah, hopefully. Hey, talking about reviews,
Just keep sleeping in. You won't bloody well get it done.
I know I keep sleeping in. It's not good. Yeah,
better change that alarm, mate.
I'm telling you, I can't wake up. That alarm on that Google thing is too nice. It's like
too nice.
And then it was fine when I first got the thing.
Tell it to wake you up to some death metal or something.
No, because that'll wake me up and I'll be really annoyed.
Exactly. Then you'll get up.
The only thing that wakes me up is the alarm on my phone, the one that goes.
That one shits me because that's the one I use when we go overseas.
Yeah.
Oh, and it just annoys the crap out of me, that one.
It's the only thing that will wake me up. And if I forget to set the alarm on my phone, I don't wake up. Although the other day, I set that alarm, but I think that was the day I was up until like 2 or 3 a.m. editing because I was just a bunch of news dropped. I was like, I got to get a bunch of videos out, so I did it overnight. And I had this dream where I had brought a laptop in here while we were watching a movie, and it was doing editing. It was like doing rendering, but the rendering was really loud, going. This was the dream. Obviously, the alarm's going off, and it's like seeped into my dream. And I was dreaming that the laptop was going. I couldn't stop it. And then eventually, I woke up. I was like, "Oh, it's just the alarm." And then I think I turned it off and went back to sleep.
Oh, I'd smash the computer if it started doing that. That'd just drive me round the twist. I couldn't deal with that.
So anyway, that wakes me up. That's about the only thing that gets me up. But again, I did do 2 like a late night edits this week because then the next night was the Luca trailer from Pixar, which I was up to 2 or 3 a.m. And then as we've established, if I have like a late night, I'm fucked for the rest of the week.
Just a little.
Yeah. But anyway, it's okay. I've been getting stuff done. I've been getting what I need done. And been doing the late nights so I can afford to sleep in every now and then. That's fine. Hey,
you can't work 24 hours.
No, exactly right.
Got to sleep.
Yeah, talking about reviews. I was talking about reviews before.
Yeah.
Last week I was saying we got like a really good one, and it was like so good that it was almost like we'd set up a burner account and just like left a review for ourselves, or that we'd paid off someone to leave a review. I'll read it again. It was from Ollie's TF 19081. Subject: It's so good. And the review was, literally my favourite podcast ever. Starring the incredible Dave Lee and co-starring old mate Rick. Please listen to this podcast. It's awesome.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, the author left a comment on one of my YouTube videos.
Did
It
he?
must have been the podcast last week. And he says, I can confirm, or she says, I can confirm that I left the review. Don't worry, I'm not a bot.
That's funny.
It's a real person. We got a new one this week, though. We got a new review. It's very nice. It's from Regular Man, 987.
Regular Man.
Yeah.
What a great name.
Yeah. The subject was good stuff, and the review was always a treat to listen to.
Oh, it's nice.
It's lovely to hear. So thanks for some...
Regular Man.
Yeah, thanks for the...
987.
Thank you. There's 986 other regular men out there.
Exactly right.
Yeah, thanks for the pat on the back for our 30th episode. Very much appreciated.
Thanks, Regular.
Hey, I should actually say I do appreciate everyone listening and keeping me going for 30 episodes.
Yeah.
Because, if there was like 1 or 2 people out there, I would have dipped out a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly right.
But these are getting decent views on the YouTube, decent listens on the podcast platforms, good ones.
Need more though.
We usually chart. We need more, yeah, more. We're usually charting in the top 50 every week, which is awesome in like TV and film and TV reviews. I think the category is.
What are there? 52 of us?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
and we're in the top 50.
Yeah, we're in the top 50,
awesome.
which
So
is really good.
We
are still in like. Oh man, what is it? Let me have a look. I got to pull it up here.
Just somewhere in Norway.
Yeah,
or something,
Norway.
wasn't it?
I think we are Netherlands.
Netherlands. There you go.
Netherlands. We are in. We are number 35 all time film reviews podcast in the Netherlands.
And
there's been
36.
There's been 36. And there was and Finland as well. We're number 18 of all time film reviews. So there's 19 of them.
Wow.
So we're doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to know.
How
That's
many,
interesting.
Yeah, exactly. How many it's up against. And stuff.
Yeah, because, yeah.
That's a strange... I don't know, it was a bit strange to be that part of the world where you're getting good views and shit.
Yeah, strange. Interesting.
Maybe they don't get a lot of Australian...
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the Australian angle. They like to laugh at us.
Yeah, laugh at the weird Aussie accent.
But if you are out there...
Oh, they sound like they're English.
In Finland and the Netherlands, thank you so much for listening, because we're doing very well in the charts there. Hey, I've been to the Netherlands. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place.
Where'd you go there?
Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah.
Been to Amsterdam. Well, I've been to Amsterdam. It's not like I've really been
exactly
to
right.
the Netherlands.
Country.
I want to get out there. I want to see like all like the big windmills and the flower farms and all that shit. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be great.
And we wanted to do that because I went with Alicia. We wanted to do it. We didn't. We were there for like 3 days, and it was really just Amsterdam. And when you're there, it's like just an experience, and it's like its own little bubble all to itself. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone out there listening. We are also number 14 in Nigeria. No, that's not all time. We're just at number 14 in Nigeria at the moment. So thanks to all our Nigerian listeners as well, which is awesome. Everyone, we got good listens in the US, in Britain, in Canada, Hungary as well. Which
awesome.
that's what I'm seeing here anyway, and Australia. It
still fascinates me.
Yeah,
that still fascinates me that we sit in this little place in Melbourne, Australia, and you got people in bloody Netherlands and Canada and America and Nigeria.
It's crazy. All over the place.
It
awesome.
still boggles my mind.
Yeah, me too. I mean, yeah, when you dive into the YouTube analytics and all that and just see where the places people are listening from, it's watching from, crazy. So anyway.
It's not just that. It's just the whole technology thing,
yeah.
Some of the interviews you've done where you've been sitting here and there in bloody LA or wherever they are. That's just...
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just
It's been a ride. It's been a ride. So anyway, thanks so much to everyone who has been listening to the podcast. On a very serious note, honestly, we do appreciate it all.
We really do.
I love it. I love doing it because people are watching and engaging and all that shit. And if there was none of that,
it's not worth doing. If you're doing it for your own self-gratification, it's for yourself to watch or whatever.
Yeah, no. So anyway, yes, thank you so much. Let's get on with the show.
Awesome.
Right?
So g'day to everybody, wherever you are around the world.
Yeah.
Just pop a line, tell us where you're listening from.
Yeah, we'd love that. It'd be great. I have an update on my Zavvi order. I was going to update you last week. Let me just grab them over here. Just off the microphone a little bit. Here we go. So you know how I ordered 12 discs from Zavvi?
Oh, yeah,
right?
Here we go.
And Zavvi sends them all like individually. They refuse to box them up for some stupid reason.
That's because some bloke's too lazy to walk across the bloody, 50 metres across the bloody warehouse to pick them off shelves. That's
but
all.
he's got to pick them off the shelves anyway and then just dumps them on the conveyor belt.
There's probably says, you take aisle 3, you take aisle 4.
So anyway, I ordered 12 discs only because these were the only places I could get the Criterion discs for like half price. I ordered 12. They sent 4 out, not together. They were like they sent them again. All individual packages, 12 individual packages left the UK to Australia. They sent 4 out one day, then they sent out they sent 6, then they sent a second batch of 4, and then they sent a batch of 2, right? So as of last week, I had received the entirety of the first batch, which is great, right, 6, right? Also as of last week, I'd received 2 of batch 2.
Right, yeah.
And as of this week, I've received 1 from batch... No, I've received 2 from batch 3, and now I'm waiting on 1 more from batch... Wait. Anyway, whatever it is, I've got all of them except for 1 from the second batch. So as I said...
Is that the one that's gone missing or...
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's always going to be one. Yeah. When they send them all individually, again, it's not exactly Zavvi's fault that it gets lost in the post. It's just annoying that they've all gone out individually.
Just the fact they send them out individually.
There's more chance of one going missing or getting damaged. I should say none have arrived damaged yet, which is good.
I thought yesterday's one might have, though.
I thought yesterday's one is a little bit bowed, but it's not as bad as I've had it in the past, so it's okay. It's passable. But all the others are in good condition, which is great. Some more addition to the Criterion collection. But we're just still waiting on 1 more from batch 2. I've got batch 1, I've got batch 3.
Will it arrive?
Will it arrive? Stay tuned next week.
Will it arrive? And what condition, if it does, what condition will it be in? Has some fat bloke been sitting on it in his van for 2 weeks and it's bowed and bent and smashed? And
well, we'll see. We'll find out.
Who knows?
What have we been watching this week? Surprisingly, I've actually got a movie in most days this week. Some older stuff, mostly older stuff, obviously, because I've got my big pile. Well, I've got my pile of hundreds of discs. I'm just trying to get through. But then every now and then, there's like this period in every month where a whole bunch of shit just comes through from my friends at the distributors who sending me stuff to watch, to review my like Blu-ray review every month. So this week I've been like powering through a bunch of stuff that's been sent in so that I can get back to my pile. But it's all stuff I want to watch anyway. I don't request stuff that I have no interest in.
Why would you?
No, exactly right. Not worth it. So this week I watched one called Leap of Faith, which is a film with Steve Martin. This was one done in like the early 90s, I think 92. The interesting thing is I'm a huge Steve Martin fan, aren't I?
Yeah.
I love Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Like I grew up on his films, all of them.
So's your uncle.
Oh, my uncle loves him. My uncle thinks he's Steve Martin. Doesn't help that his name is Steve as well. But he loves Steve.
We love you, Steve.
We love you, Steve. He does listen and watch. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. He's a patron as well. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
What's all this? There's all this like fluff floating around today.
Oh, it might be off my jab.
That'll do it. Yeah. Anyway, so Leap of Faith, Steve Martin film, just come out on Blu-ray from Umbrella Entertainment here in Australia. This is like one of the only classic Martin films, if not the only one I've never watched. And really? I don't know why. It just always like slipped my radar for some reason. It wasn't terrific, but it was good. I enjoyed it, but it's not like first class. It's not like top notch. Yeah. So I think that's probably why it maybe just slipped a little bit. Mind you, I've watched a lot of shit with Steve Martin in it as well.
Oh, yeah. So, there's some crap. Crap.
I don't know. But this was good. He plays like he's basically like a grifter who has got this traveling like preacher show where he goes around traveling this preacher show, and he's like a miracle man and basically just conning everyone to believing that he's like a miracle man and doing all these miracles on stage, whereas it's just all like stage. It's all fake.
Yeah.
So the concept's really good. Not a lot of huge laughs in
Religion.
it. Yeah, it's like it's a faith-based. It's a very faith-based film, and I feel like that's probably why that's what they call these like religious films, like faith-based film.
Yep.
And I feel like that is probably the reason why it was maybe brushed under the rug a little bit, because it's hard for a lot of like the faith films to get more traction, like mainstream traction, which is interesting. But this is kind of more on the mainstream side of the faith-based kind of films. So because he does have like the Enlightenment, and I mean, it's a 30-year-old movie. I'll fucking spoil it, and I won't, because if someone wants to go out and buy it from Umbrella, anyway, so all these things actually start happening where you start to think, oh, maybe there is miracles or whatever. So it's good, but it gets a little bit sappy towards the end. Yeah. It's a bit like, okay, I see where this is going. I watched another one called Let It Ride. This one's got Richard Dreyfuss in it.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Very good, very good. Just really weird, quirky comedy from the late 80s. He is like this down and out of his like cab driver, and he gets a tip on this horse race, which is like they intercept like this CB radio sort of thing with these guys talking about fixing a horse race. So they go and like bet on the horse, and he wins a shitload of money, and then he just gets addicted to gambling, and he's just he spends the whole day at the track just gambling and gambling, winning like a shitload of money.
I have seen it.
Very good. Doesn't have great morals.
No.
But it's...
Yeah, but that's Richard Dreyfuss.
Exactly right. Oh, yeah.
Joking, of course.
Just a joke. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, it's a very good film. And he's terrific in it. He is so good. Like, he's just really dry kind of style of humor, really quirky. Really, really loved it. Really loved it. Also watched one called The Mothman Prophecies, one called as if no one's heard of it. Mothman Prophecies, this was one from like the early 2000s with James Bond, Pierce Brosnan, and oh geez, who was in it?
Richard Gere.
Why am I saying Pierce Brosnan? It was Richard Gere. Richard Gere and Laura Linney, I think Laura Linney was in it, and Deborah Messing as well is in it as well.
Deborah Messing was in it? Really?
Yeah, right at the beginning of it. She's his wife, and she dies. Not spoiling anything, this is just like the first 10 minutes of the film. She dies and is having these weird premonitions about this Mothman, and then years after she dies, he's mysteriously drawn to this town where there have been all these sightings of this Mothman, and there's like all these people are having these prophecies about like this big disaster that's going to happen based on true stories. You know, you had so many movies in the early 2000s which were it's based on a true story. The Blair Witch Project,
and that turned out to be
and
shit.
all that shit. Yeah. So yeah, it was okay. I'm not huge on these kinds of movies. It wasn't very scary. It's more of like a psychological horror drama kind of thing. But I did enjoy it. It was quite
I have
good.
seen it. I enjoyed it when I watched it.
You would have seen it years ago. Yeah, we had it on DVD. but I never watched it. But yeah, I got it. It's part of the indicator.
I reckon I might have actually watched it on VHS.
Yeah, probably. I think you actually did have the VHS of that. I think you did, yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it's not terrific. But it's on the Indicator label has released that. They also released Let It Ride. They also released The Two Worlds of Johnny. The Two Worlds of Johnny. The Two Worlds of Jenny Logan. This is one that I thought was really weird. No, you wouldn't know. This is a TV movie.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of one that's really baffling that they've released as part of the Indicator collection. But I guess, sorry, not Indicator, Imprint. I think because the Imprint label is kind of like cult films and stuff, this one is a bit of a cult movie. It was like a TV movie from the late 70s, and it stars, I can't remember her name, but she was the Bionic Woman.
Lindsay Wagner.
Lindsay Wagner, yeah. So I think that's probably why it's like kind of a cult film. For a TV movie, the production value is actually really good for a film, like TV movie of the 70s, early 80s. Very good production values. It's actually enjoyable. The concept's quite good.
As good as they were back then.
As good as they were. But for a TV movie of the 70s, it's quite good. The concept's good. She moves into like this old house and there's like this old wedding dress there. And when she puts on the wedding dress, she travels back in time. And it's like she has like this, she gets in this like love affair back in time. And then she spends her time between the modern day and the past day. So that's her two worlds. It's kind of like that one with Christopher Reeve, that
Somewhere in Time.
That was like his time-traveling love story
Somewhere
thing, wasn't it? Yeah, similar. The concept's good. It's not terrific. It's very melodramatic and whatever.
I would imagine so.
Wasn't great. Wasn't great, but I think it's a cult. Like it's got 7.
It's got a
6.9
on.
So that's an all right.
That's definitely
an all right.
What else would say?
No, I don't have the sound effects today. We got something else planned.
I just wanted to piss off the world's worst manager.
Yeah, no, we don't have the sound effects on the board today, sadly. But yeah, it was okay. That's part of the Imprint line, and again, I think it's just because it's more of like a cult thing. There was another one in the Imprint line that I watched. I can't remember. Maybe I watched it a couple of weeks ago. I didn't write it down here. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I watched it last week. I spoke about it last week. This week we also watched You Were Never Really Here. That's the one with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
You fell asleep in like the two of the most pivotal moments in the movie and then didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah. Very good film. Like his performance is terrific. He's essentially...
I liked it though. I liked it.
It's very good. He's essentially hired by like a governor or something. He's this like a fixer guy who was hired to go in and save kidnapped girls and women from
the captives.
Yeah, they're captives. And he is brutal in the way that he does. He's like an ex soldier who has obviously seen a lot and done a lot in the war and comes back and he doesn't give a shit what he does and he just goes to the hardware store and buys a bunch of hardware goods to, essentially
carry out his job.
Yeah. Very, very good. And he's hired to go and save this young girl, must be like a 15-year-old girl or something from these captives by a governor or something. That's the bit you fell asleep in, so you missed like the setup for the film.
Right.
Because you woke up and you said, I don't think I really know what happened in that. And so you fell asleep like in the main part. But anyway, that's the story. And then they come and they take her off him and then he goes to try and get her back. So it's kind of the gist. Very good, obviously very heavy,
very dramatic.
Yeah, very heavy movie, but very good. And his performance in that very, very good as well. Was it nominated? Was he not? I don't think he was nominated for an Oscar or anything. I'm not sure. I know he was nominated for a bunch of stuff for it. There you go. Have a look in that yellow bar right across.
Oh, there.
Yeah, Seymour.
Oh Jesus!
If it was nominated for an Oscar, that would have come up probably first. BAFTA, yeah, no, but he did. There was like awards buzz over it anyway when that came out. So that's one that came out a while ago on disc, but we just watched recently. We also watched one called The Tracker, which is an Aussie film. That was the one with David Gulpilil, Gary Sweet, Gary Sweet, TV actor.
Yeah.
But a real actor. He's great. I love him.
Sweet.
But
he's just a real chilled, relaxed Aussie bloke.
Yeah.
And he's like that in every interview you ever see of him.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's very good. But that's a very, very good film, which is sort of like, again, another really heavy one where there's this woman who's been killed, and they believe that a black man has done it. And this police officer, this troop of police officers, there's like a veteran one, and there's like a rookie and some other guy. They want to go out and find this guy, this native Australian guy, and they hire an Aboriginal tracker to track the guy down. And he tells them, I can lead you to him. But along the way, they start to question whether this guy is actually leading them to the right place, or whether he's, playing games with them. Very dark premise, but it does have a lot of like really dark kind of comedy in there as well.
Well, set in 1922.
Yeah, set in 1920s Australia. So it's like it does play on like that kind of relationship between colonial white settlers and First Nation First Nation Australians, and sort of plays off that kind of politics thing. But it's very good in the way it's done. And David Goldbluth's fantastic. He's just very
magnificent,
very comedic. Again, it's very coughing into the microphone. Very again, for something that's very dark, it's got this very comedic streak in it. In that David Goldbluth's character, like taking these guys along for a ride, and he's just so sly about whether he's actually taking them to the right place or he's stringing them along. Very, very good film, but again, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, but it's good though. Really
very good Australian film, directed by Rolf de Heer, who's one of our greatest directors. So I definitely recommend checking that one out as well. New films. Watch a couple of new films for once, because I said a couple of weeks ago I went out and bought some new films. We watched Promising Young Woman last week, which was terrific.
Yes.
Loved it.
Was good.
And we've just watched The Dry with Eric Bana.
Now, that was right in my wheelhouse.
Good. Yeah.
I loved it.
Terrific.
Absolutely loved it.
Loved every moment.
Yeah. I mean, Eric Bana is great anyway, but I can't explain. He played a real Australian role in this.
Yeah.
A real Australian role. And he was just relaxed and... I don't know. I don't
very
know
good. Anyway, very
but
good.
A brilliant
movie.
film. Absolutely brilliant.
So
film.
he is like a journalist.
It seems a bit slow and stuff when you're watching it.
Yeah.
But it's the setup and everything else I really enjoyed.
He's a journalist who is... No, he's not a journalist.
No,
he's a federal
cop.
Federal officer. But he's hired kind of off job to go into his old town where he grew up, because one of his friends has died, and there's kind of a mystery surrounding her death. She was murdered.
Yeah.
She was murdered and her child was murdered, and they said that the husband has killed them and then has gone out and killed himself.
And the husband was an old mate
too, yeah. So but there's questions around whether he actually did it and how it happened. And he ends up getting stuck there and kind of ends up investigating this unofficially and starts riling stuff up in the town because he was involved in a case years ago. He was like at the centre of this murder case years ago that was kind of pinned on him.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's this...
As a 16-year-old.
Yeah, so...
15-year-old.
Yeah. So obviously as... things about this new case start unraveling, his past starts unraveling too, and they kind of converge, and it's terrific.
Yeah,
and
really good.
Just the
well scripted, scripted.
The dynamics between him and the other characters are so good. Set in like a rural Australian town. And would you believe it? The author of the original novel was not Australian; she's British.
Really?
Yeah,
wouldn't have known.
So like authentically Australian.
Yeah. And when you. I mean, if anybody wants to check it out and wants to know what country Australia's like, it's gives you a really good feel of what country Australia's like.
Yeah, crazy,
beautiful,
very very good movie. I loved it. I've heard no bad things about it. It's terrific.
What sort of?
It has like an 8 or something.
Really?
Yeah, it's like. I think it had. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it had like the biggest opening of an Australian film. Either ever or for a long time, and it was during a pandemic.
Yeah, it's a 7.
7. So good, and he's so good. It's his first Australian movie in like a decade or something as well, Eric Bana. Yeah. They're talking about doing a sequel. I don't know how they're going to go from there with a sequel, but I'd be open to it if they got a good story. I think seeing him off doing another case, very good. I can see it being one of those ones that they just, and then probably make like a fucking TV series or something.
Was it Goldstone?
Goldstone. No, Mystery Road.
Mystery Road.
And then they made Goldstone, which is like set like 10 or 15 years in the future, and then they're making the Mystery Road series at the moment, which is in between the two films.
Right, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It'll turn out to be something like
if it
that.
does. And if he's in it as well.
Yeah, and that Jack
Reacher.
Not Jack Reacher. I almost said Jack Reacher too.
Irish.
Is it even Jack?
Jack
Irish with Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
They did like
Same
the Tally
thing.
movies, and then they did the series as well.
Oh, they were fabulous.
Yeah,
Fabulous
really
what
good.
we've seen
Love
of
them.
those.
So anyway, The Dry, check that one out. We also watched, I watched this one, you were zonked in this one. You fell asleep in 10 minutes.
Oh, did I?
The Shadow.
We must put it on late, did we?
Shadow in the Cloud. No, it went on early. This was like our early movie, and you must have been working or something. This is one with Chloe Grace Moretz. She's a fighter pilot in World War II. She is set a task to go and sit in on this fighter mission with a team of men, and they're all, sexist and bigoted and all this kind of shit, but she's kind of forced to go on this mission with them, and she's got a box, and you don't know what is in this box. It's like a mystery box, and she's given this task to, like, mind the box under all costs, at all costs. This has got a 4.8 on IMDb. But
that's why I fell asleep.
But the rating on Rotten Tomatoes was like 70 or 80 or something. So audiences loved it. I loved it too. This is a film that has a shite rating, but was actually all right. I thought it was great. Like, it's a movie that doesn't take itself seriously any step of the way.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of it.
Like I said, you were gone in
asleep.
5 minutes. You were gone in 5 minutes. I don't think I saw you wake up once.
Yeah, I remember drifting in and out of it.
I don't know.
Because I remember seeing, what's his name, Callum Mulvey.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Because they were in it.
Oh, right, I fell asleep and I didn't see anything.
Again.
No, I remember coming in and out of it, but
well, again,
only just.
Again, it's like, I don't really want to spoil too much of it because I knew nothing about it going in. But it just seemed like a movie that I thought I'd really like. I like Chloe Grace Moretz. She's really great in the stuff she does. It's just the whole B movie kind of exploitation genre kind of vibe that it was going for, like 1980s. I just thought this looks really cool. And the first like 10 minutes of the movie, all the men are in it, and then she's shoved into this, what do you call it, like that big... at the bottom of you saw that part. She gets put in that bottom part of the plane, which is like that big round where you got the guns.
Oh yeah, what they call it, the gunners.
Yeah, the gunner area. She gets shoved down there and gets stuck in there, and literally like 80% of the movie is her alone in the turret or the thing. Yeah. But it's very good. It's only 80 minutes. I will watch it again if you want to watch it because I really thought it was really good. And again, it's just really just schlocky B movie. And then the plane, and then there's, it's in the trailer. There's a gremlin. A gremlin comes and starts like tearing up the ship.
That's right.
So it takes this really weird twist. I watched the trailer after I watched the movie, and it like gives away the whole film. So don't watch the fucking trailer. But anyway, this gremlin comes into it very early anyway, but it does take this weird twist, and I don't know. I think you got to go into it understanding that it's like a B movie, and it doesn't take itself seriously. I liked it. I thought it was really good.
That's right. I remember she was telling she'd seen something out on the wing and all that.
They
sort of
didn't
stuff.
believe her. Yeah,
yeah. And then someone in the plane saw it.
Yeah, because back in World War II, if something went wrong with the ship and they didn't know what it was, they would say it was a gremlin. There were gremlins in the plane.
Yeah.
So it kind of takes that idea of it. So I really liked it. I would watch it again. I thought it was fun, just stupid fun.
Yeah.
There's a part where, again, this is in the trailer, the ship blows up and she gets sucked out of the plane towards this other plane that explodes, and as it explodes, like the wing flies off and knocks her back up into the ship.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. I didn't see that bit.
So good. I loved it. I thought it was terrific. Anyway, again, you have to go into it just understanding what it's trying to be. Mm-hmm. It's not trying to be anything too.
Yeah, if you're going and you think it's a real, serious film.
Yeah.
You'll be hitting the shite button.
Exactly right. Yeah, exactly. But I thought she was very good in it. She did very well to hold her. Like, again, 80-90% of the movie is just her in this thing. I think she does very well to kind of command the screen just by herself. She's a very, 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 very good actor. So anyway, that's kind of all them. DC movies I've been watching. I've been watching all the animated ones recently. I only got 2 in this week. I did Son of Batman. Batman has a son or something and then fights with the son. He's very annoying, the son. It was very annoying, that one. And then I watched...
the son was Robin?
Yeah, the son was Robin. Yeah. I didn't... I
pain in the ass when to smack him.
It was annoying. I was like, I didn't really enjoy that one. And then I watched Justice League: Throne of Atlantis, which again, I didn't enjoy that much because I don't like Aquaman. I don't like Aquaman, and I don't like that whole under the sea, the Atlantis shit. I don't know. I just don't like Aquaman. Yeah. And this movie was just like focused around Aquaman, and I didn't care for it. Anyway, but
You're going to slam you now, saying you don't.
Yeah, I know, I will.
I agree. It was a piss week for you.
Aquaman, I just don't like. I just don't get it. But anyway, so again, as a Justice League movie, it was quite good. You had Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all those, and then like the action stuff's fun, but I just didn't vibe with the story because I don't like Aquaman.
I think I went to bed when you put that one on.
Yeah, I think you did.
I think I went to bed that night.
Yeah, so I haven't watched one since then. That was earlier in the week. And some of the Justice League ones in particular are very same. The Batman ones are so good, but then you get to Justice League ones and they're all very, very much the same. So I've taken a bit of a break for a week. I'll go back to it.
Yeah.
Because
I've become too much.
I've watched too many now at this point, and I've probably got like 15, 16 to go. But I'll do it. I'm enjoying them. I just need that little bit of separation. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, TV-wise, Falcon and the Winter Soldier ended last week. Very, very good, very good. There are a few issues, I thought, kind of with the story. I felt some of the characters just didn't really need to... Well, not that they didn't need to be there, but I feel like some of the characters didn't pay off as well as they should have. They introduced a lot of stuff that never really... never really wrapped up nicely. Again, it's a situation like WandaVision, where this one was impacted by COVID. Yeah. Apparently there was like this whole subplot, like pandemic subplot. And the Flag Smashers, the rumor is the Flag Smashers were trying to transport some sort of vaccine or some shit, I don't know, alongside like the super soldier serum. And they had to go back and like cut all that out or rewrite it. God. So I particularly when you come to the Flag Smashers, they're kind of there, and you kind of like, what are they even doing? Their motive in it. I mean, it's clear, but it's also kind of like what do they do? Like,
what's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah.
So I understand. I get it. I understand the characters, and they do have that payoff in the end. But they're just, you can see where the holes are, where they've had to go in and like cut stuff out of it. Yeah. But overall, I thought it was just horrific.
Yeah, series. I really liked it. Have you seen the the hot toy of?
The Falcon.
Oh.
Captain America.
Captain America.
He's our new Cap.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking hell.
What a great looking hot toy that is.
I know.
What's any idea on price on that?
I think it's probably going to be about $350 US, which means it's probably going to be like a $450 probably $550 like regular retail. But if you go Australian. If you go pop culture, you'll have like a discount if you pre-order it. So
that's beautiful.
So good, gorgeous. Oh, and I love it because the wings.
Nice in the cabinet with a couple of those.
I know, because I've got the old Falcon figure, and the one thing that pissed me off about, actually, I've owned 2 Falcon figures. Yeah, I owned the one from Captain America, the Winter Soldier, which is like he's got his army pants on. That's just right. Like that regular sort of outfit. Yeah. And then they did Civil War, and he was in like the more comic book red and grey with the wings. And the original one had wings as well, but I wanted like the comic accurate outfit. Yeah. So I sold the original one, and then I bought the second one. And there's been another one since then, which was Civil War, but I didn't buy that. But anyway, all those ones were similar in that they had wings, but they weren't like articulate wings. They were either here, up or down, or you could take them off. So I've got him sitting in the cabinet with the wings off because they don't fit. Yeah. But this new one has like these fully articulate wings that like wrap right around him. They fold down, they go up. They fucking. So I'm thinking this is the one I've wanted for like 6 years. Yeah. It comes with the Captain America shield, all that shit. So I think it's probably going to be a bit more expensive than...
and just his whole outfit's pretty good.
So good. So that might be one. I have a pretty stringent... Well, we both have a pretty stringent rule, which is only one of each character. I've broken the rule a couple of times. You've got so many Iron Man. You've got a dozen Captain America, half a dozen Captain Americas.
Yeah, probably half a dozen or so Iron Men as well.
Yeah. And then I have 2 Black Widows because I bought the one from Winter Soldier. And then that was like more of like a stealth outfit, the black outfit. She's got like the bob haircut, the bob. And then they brought out the one from, I think it was Age of Ultron, where she's got like the more iconic, the frizzy hair, and then she's got like the more like Avengers outfit and stuff. And I was like, I'll buy that, I'll sell the other one off. And then I didn't have the heart to sell the Winter Soldier one, because that's like my favourite Captain America, one of my favourite Marvel films. And we had Steve Rogers Captain America in the strike outfit, so they go well together. So I was like, I'll leave that. And so there's a few characters we have like exceptions with, and I think we'll probably make one for Captain America, Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
Because it's very cool. He's our new Cap.
Captain America Falcon.
Yeah. No, just Captain America. Just Captain America. That's it. He's our captain. You didn't even press that then.
Sorry, guys.
Anyway, so
still got a bit of a cough from my cold.
Yeah, still going. His cold's gone. He's got a cough. But anyway, your Falcon and Winter Soldier was great. I love the ending. I love the suit, the Falcon suit. It's so cool. And Falcon is now, fucking keep saying Falcon. Captain America. Sam Wilson. What I mean to say is Sam Wilson is now our new Captain America, which is awesome. I thought when he comes through the window, smashes the window. Oh, fuck. I was like, shit.
Flies through the cockpit and takes the pilot out with him.
So good.
That was awesome.
So tonight, last Friday.
Yeah, because we don't record this on a Friday before it's on.
They've got the making of special on Disney Plus.
Oh, now. Is that tonight?
Yeah, it's tonight.
So it was last Friday.
Yeah. We've done that. Oh, and they've I don't know if you heard this, but they've already announced Captain America 4.
No, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, and it's going to be Sam Wilson, Captain America, in the lead. And I think the showrunner from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, one of the writers, is writing the film.
Oh.
So, because you know how at the end it come up with Falcon and the Winter Soldier and it goes Captain America and the Winter Soldier? Yep. Everyone's like, oh, the next season's going to be Captain America and the Winter Soldier. They're going to go straight into doing Captain America 4 with Sam Wilson as Cap, which is going to be really fucking cool.
Well, was Winter Soldier going to be in it or not? Because
probably,
I love that character.
But see, now he's the White Wolf now. And they were saying at the end they had apparently prepped a title card that changes from Falcon and the Winter Soldier to Captain America and the White Wolf. But for some reason they didn't do it. So it's just Captain America and the Winter... But because he's not the Winter Soldier now, he's had that arc where he's...
Yeah.
But maybe the movie will kind of delve more into that. Yeah. Him taking on his new persona, who knows.
Awesome.
Yes, I'm excited for that. That's very good. That was announced literally. They didn't wait.
So it's going to be a movie?
Yeah, film.
Wow.
Theatres. Proper.
It's been a while since they've done one.
Well, yeah, Black Widow is going to be the next one, but that's going to Disney Plus and theaters as well. But Black Widow was supposed to come out last year. The Eternals was supposed to come out last year. Shang-Chi was supposed to come out last year, but the pandemic and everything. So it's been like Spider-Man, July 2019 was the last Marvel film in a cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting Black Widow in a couple of months. Then we're going to get Shang-Chi and the Eternals at the end of this year.
So Cap 4, what's that going to be? 2 years' time?
Probably, yeah, I would imagine a couple of years down the line.
2013?
Yeah,
2013.
2023 or something like that. So yeah, that'll be good. But I imagine because what they did, because obviously he gets the shield at the end of Avengers Endgame, and then this next one he's Captain America. I reckon that would have been the original plan if they hadn't done all these Disney Plus stuff. So these are just like supplement shows, obviously, where you get to delve more deeply into him struggling with picking up the shield and taking on that mantle. Yeah. Whereas I feel like that's why this show is so good, is you get to delve, because they wouldn't have done that in a film.
No,
and if they did, I would have brushed over it.
Yep.
But I feel like...
they've set it up.
Yeah, they set up so well.
Yeah.
I feel like if they'd just gone straight into a movie, it would have been like, oh, he's now Captain America.
Yeah, exactly.
But this show just served that purpose to be like...
And it would have shown you sort of little clips of how it happened and whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, Cap 4 has joined a long roster of Marvel films that we can get excited for soon.
Could you imagine the suppose the logistics of having to change everything around and move with the pandemic and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
God, that would have done you fucking head in.
WandaVision, they were saying that last episode, you know how that last episode was all over the place? Like, they were editing that like 4 days before it went on Disney+.
Really?
Yeah, so last minute, they were still just fucking going with it. I imagine the same probably happened with Captain. Like, they would have had to cut that really fine. Particularly because apparently Falcon and Winter Soldier, they had filmed most of it before the pandemic shut them down. So then they obviously had to go back and rewrite it and probably reshoot 50% of it.
You can sort of see it too. You can see where they had freedom and where they were in lockdown and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, crazy.
When you know that that's happened, you go, that was done during lockdown and that was done.
Yeah. Anyway, but so that was great, and I'm looking forward to Cap 4. We've also started For All Mankind on Apple TV Plus.
And I'm enjoying
Very good.
that.
We're like
we've done 3 episodes.
Three shows, yeah.
Done 3 episodes.
They're really long. They're like 1 hour and 5 minutes each.
Yeah.
But it's very good. It's like a alternate take on the space race where Russia lands on the moon first.
Yeah.
And sort of what would have happened had Russia landed on the moon first. I think the premise of the show is what happens if the space race never stopped.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I believe, because there's 2 seasons so far, I believe it pushes like right into the future and shows like this alternate history of space travel and space exploration.
They'll probably go right up to setting up I don't know because I haven't gotten that far, but I reckon they'll probably finish up setting up a station on the...
I think that's where it goes. They set up like a moon base. Yeah. I believe that's where it goes. And then they try and push. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but I understand that's the direct, because it starts very traditional.
Yeah,
it starts like we've watched From the Earth to the Moon. We watched the Right Stuff, which obviously films series about the Apollo missions. So it starts very much like one of those things where it's like, but then it takes that turn, and even the first like 2 episodes feel very much like it's telling this kind of. What would be like a true to life story?
Yeah,
like even the second episode, even the 3 we've watched, it's still drawing on actual things that happened.
And all the characters there, like Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah, they're all there. But then I think as the show pushes a bit further out, it starts to become a bit more science fiction-y and fantastical. Yeah. So I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, so am I. I'm sort of hooked.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to see where it goes. Anyway, we have also got a. Oh no. Try again. Oh no! Oh, I changed the sound effects. I put this. I was supposed to change shite and.
All right.
With this week. And I accidentally changed the Deadwood one. Hang on, give me a minute.
Hey, have I got the whip still on my phone?
Oh gosh, yeah. Hang on. I've got sound effects on my computer. Oh, I've got it here. You ready?
1, 2, 3.
Got it. Sort of.
Well, sort of.
Oh no.
That was funny.
But that is sort of an apt sound effect.
Yeah, exactly right.
Our Deadwood update, we watched one this week. We've been doing
we watched one. We did our Tuesday.
We've been vigilant.
Tuesday.
Yeah, did our Tuesday Deadwood. Someone actually messaged me this week.
So Sam's done it to us. He's guilted us.
Yeah, he's loving the shout-outs apparently.
Is he?
Yeah.
G'day, Sam. How you doing, mate?
G'day, Sam.
How's the family?
Yeah. He's a family man now, Sam.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Fantastic. Congratulations, Sam.
Yeah, good on him.
Absolutely fantastic. We got a Twitter message from Connor Ryan, who's been a long-time viewer and listener. This was on Tuesday afternoon. It was just a message on Twitter that said, watched your weekly Deadwood yet? Said no.
When was that? Tuesday.
That was
afternoon.
Tuesday afternoon. I said no. Unfortunately, that's tonight.
Yeah,
that's tonight. So we've watched 4 episodes of this season. We've got 8 left.
Yeah,
plus the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
it's not bad. I mean, it's better than the second season, I think.
Yeah,
but it's still slow and boring, and nothing really happens.
Yeah.
And like we were saying, I think was the same last week that. You get one episode where, Sheriff beats the shit out of Swearidge, and in the next episode, it's like nothing's happened.
Nothing happens, yeah. There's little moments where you're like, oh, this is good.
Yeah,
and
exactly
it just
right.
never goes anywhere.
Yeah, it's almost like they're building to something.
Yeah.
And then it takes a left turn and it's almost forgotten.
Fizzles out. We've got Brian Cox is in the series now.
Yeah.
He's kind of come in as like this character. He's just kind of come from...
Oh, who can we get to try and save it? Who can we get to try and save the series?
So...
But no, it's I'm enjoying it.
It's okay.
It's the world's worst manager was right. You got to watch one episode a week.
It's better. I feel like the pacing's better if you watch one a week instead of trying to binge it. You can't binge this program.
No.
Don't even try. It's not a binge show. It is traditional television, one a week. That's how it works.
The world's worst manager, for those who are just fairly new, is
Yeah.
one of Dave's mates who's always said that he's Dave's manager.
He's self-appointed manager.
He's a self-appointed manager, and we just call him. His name's Jackson.
Yeah, Wacko Jacko.
Wacko Jacko, and we just call him the world's worst manager.
Yeah,
because he does fuck all.
Like I said, yeah, exactly. Like I said, well, actually, he's been designing some stickers for me.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which we're going to try and launch as some merch, which is
Awesome.
exciting. Yeah, some pretty cool things. So I am appreciative of that. Thank you very much, Wacko Jacko.
We like to hang shit on him. He's a great bloke.
Yeah.
Really nice bloke.
Wow.
Well, some would argue.
Well, I always like to say he's the kind of manager you find out the back of like a laundromat for 5 cents. So.
A bit like Saul.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's great. So I'm looking forward. He's been doing some work on some stickers. I'm very excited about that.
His suggestion was watch one a week.
Yeah, and it has been working. It's worked.
And those who are just new, we've been trying to watch this show ever since it started.
Yeah.
Back in 2001
Yeah.
or 2,
Where
or
it
whenever
was.
it was.
Ugh.
And we started it 3 times. And now this is the 3rd time.
Finally.
And now we're finally getting through
Finally
it.
doing it. We're getting there.
And we'll
We've
get
got
through it. We will get through it this time.
8 episodes in a movie. 8
Woohoo!
episodes in a movie.
The
Let's
movie's
go.
going to be the killer.
I know. I don't know if it's a long film. I'm hoping it's only it's only a TV movie, so I'm hoping it's only like 90 minutes long. Check it out. Deadwood the movie, I think it's called. Deadwood, there it is. Deadwood the movie. Check it out. 2019. It's got a 7.4.
Oh, yeah, but the series has got a good
How long does it go for? Up the top, just under.
hour 50.
Fuck. 2 hours. That's like 2 Deadwoods back to back.
110 minutes.
Fuck off.
That's all right. We'll get through it. The movie's probably good.
Well, hopefully. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll get there in 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, we're celebrating episode 40. Just before the celebration of episode 40, we'll get to it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. How's that? Maybe we'll take a week off between the series and the film, and we can celebrate episode 40 with the final Deadwood update. Yes. It's worked out beautifully. There you go.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Let's do
Remember
it.
that.
We'll do it. Okay. More television that we've been watching. We can talk about this now. We've been watching Mythic Quest, which was that Apple TV Plus show. Well, we watched it a couple of weeks back. They're just about to launch season 2, which goes on Apple TV Plus on April 7th. The premiere, I think there's going to be 2 episodes up, and then there's going to be one episode a week for like the next 8 weeks or 7 weeks. I think there's 9 episodes to the season. We binged through season 1 and season 2 a couple of weeks ago. Because Apple was able to organise...
Jeez, it was good.
Apple was able to organise an interview for me with one of the leads, Charlotte Nicdao, who's an Australian actress. Fucking such a good show. We can talk about season 2 now because the embargo's lifted. And man, season 2 is even better than the first.
Yeah, exactly right.
So good.
Season 1, that's like any series. All the actors and characters are sort of trying to work out where they fit with each other. Season 2, they've worked it out.
Yeah, definitely. They all
and
work
it's a fabulous
so well.
series, yeah.
If anyone doesn't know about this, I'd heard about this, but I thought it was like some sort of fantasy show, and it was one of those things where I was like, I'll get around to it one day maybe, if I can be bothered finding out what it's about. But after Apple reached out and they're like, can you check out this show if you haven't already, and we can line up an interview for you. So I was like, I'll check it out. Fuck, it's so good. It's like a sitcom. They make this game, which is kind of like an open world, kind of like strategy. I don't know what the fuck you call them. Kind of Warcraft, World of Warcraft sort of game. It's called Mythic Quest, the game that they're building, and it's just kind of about these game engineers, designers.
Middle Ages
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a Middle Ages,
but like a fantastical,
fantasy
sort of kind of like pretty much what I don't know what Warcraft is. I'm not going to try and sound like I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so it focuses on this team of people who are creating a game, which is like the creator, the writer, the game testers, and just everything down to like the people who design the graphics, and then there's their boss who's trying to run everything, and everyone's just like it's like a ragtag team of just idiots. It's so much fun, and this second season is funnier than the first. So funny. It's got pardon me, there goes me coughing now. Rob McElhenney is in it, who is in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And a couple of other people from that show are in this as well. I think the showrunners are the same showrunners from Always Sunny. So if you like that show, I know you like this. We haven't watched Always Sunny yet, but that's kind of, it's like 15, 16 seasons.
Got to have a look at it.
Yeah,
we don't have any of it, do we?
It's on Amazon.
Is it?
It's all on Amazon. No, we didn't, but I don't think we own any of it. So I have to check it out on Amazon. But yeah, it's very, very good. And there's these 2 episodes in the middle of this season which are just so good. And if you know anything about the first season, there's one random episode in the middle of the first season which doesn't focus on the main characters. It's like a standalone episode.
Yeah, that was a bit bizarre, wasn't it?
Yeah, but then it kind of ties in. It kind of ties in the end. It's kind of like a payoff. So the second season does it as well. There's a standalone episode which focuses on one of the characters in this series. And it's so good. So good. And I don't want to say too much, but F. Murray Abraham delivers an incredible performance in what is this stupid comedy program. F. Murray delivers like Amadeus level performance. It is so fucking good. Yeah. And there's a cameo in here who comes in for an episode. First class, A-list cameo, who is terrific in it as well. I don't want to spoil it, but it is so good. And I love it. I love this program. Yeah. You have to check this out.
It is fabulous.
Yeah, so get on that if you're not onto it. There's only like, all up there must only be like 20 episodes because I did 2 9-episode seasons and 2 special shows in the middle. But so good. So good. I loved it.
Really good show.
So
get on it.
Get on it. As I said, the wonderful team over at Apple TV here in Australia reached out to me and said, "Hey, Dave, would you mind checking out? Have you checked out Mythic Quest? We can line up an interview for you." And they managed to get me an interview, as I said earlier, with Charlotte Nicdao, who is an Australian actress who's one of the leads in the show. She plays Poppy Lee, and she's like, what's kind of her role? Sort of game designer, sort of. Yeah. So she's designing the game alongside Rob McElhenney's character, Ian, in the series.
Ian.
His name's Ian, but everyone calls him Ian.
Because that's what he called himself.
Yeah.
Tells everybody his name is.
His name is. So anyway, she is, again, one of the leads in the show, and I got a really awesome opportunity to chat with her like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
But you didn't know you were going to get that one because you were supposed to do some other...
Well, firstly, they said they were going to try and get me Rob and Charlotte, and then they were booked up with, obviously, other interviews, and then it was like, we can get you interviews with the rest of the cast, and then the whole thing kind of fell apart. And then the next week, they reached back out to me and they were like, we can get you an interview with Charlotte. I was like, yes, please. Wow. Fantastic. That'd be awesome. Yes, please. So anyway, we're going to play it in full. It's only like a 5-minute interview. I got 5 minutes with her. Apple tried to get me more time. Yeah. They're like, we really wanted to try and get you like 10 minutes. And they couldn't get me more than 5. Because how it works usually is I will deal with the Australian team. The Australian team will then liaise with the American team, and the American team is who calls the final shots. So essentially, it's like me putting in a request, and then they have to put in a request for me as well, and then it's either denied or approved by the US arm. And by the sounds of it, they pushed very hard for me to get an interview with Charlotte, I think particularly because she's Australian, and they wanted some sort of like Australian representation in their marketing. So they came to me and asked me to do the interview, which is so good. Cool. And I'm so appreciative of just how it just sounded like they pushed really hard for me to get this. Nice. I really appreciate that.
They've been really good, haven't they?
They've been a fantastic Apple really TV. Good. So let's have a listen. Here we go.
Awesome.
Hi, Charlotte. I'm Dave. Calling in from Melbourne this morning from Dave Lee Down Under YouTube channel.
Hi, Dave.
Congratulations on the 2nd season of Mythic Quest. It is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much.
This season is funnier than the last, but it's also a lot more dramatic as well. I was surprised how deep the series could get with its storylines. It's an absolute testament to how beautifully written the show is and how fantastic the cast is. A lot of the characters, including Poppy, get some really serious character development. It's a very character-driven series, season in particular. How was it for you to get to return to this world again and explore your character on this deeper level?
I mean, through season one and then again through season two, I just feel so lucky to be part of a show that takes so many risks in the way that it's telling a story. Because I think, at its heart, the show is a workplace comedy. So it's got a lot of the sort of familiar stories and characters that we recognize from the sorts of shows that you watch to feel like you're hanging out with your friends, when you need a bit of warmth. But then at the same time, as you say, there are these dramatic beats and these grounded moments that these characters go through that are very real and I think very relatable. And one of the things that I loved coming back this season, getting to play with Poppy, is this idea of success. Like, what happens when you achieve success, when you get everything that you've ever dreamed of and you haven't yet dreamed further. And so even though she's this sort of supernova coder as the lead programmer of the video game that she's helped to create, that doesn't necessarily mean she's automatically going to be a great leader. And getting to play with the idea of this woman flailing through this new position was really, really fun.
Yeah, there's some really fantastic dynamics there as well between Poppy and Ian as well. How fun was that to kind of play off of?
Yeah, I mean, Rob McElhenney, who co-created the show with Megan Gans and also plays Ian, he's a genius and he's like at the top of his craft. And like, I was already such a huge fan before I started working on this show. And so getting to come into work every day and bounce off of Rob was a dream come true. And then I think, the added blessing of the fact that we both get along really well. And so, it's hard to play such a chaotic dynamic without having a lot of trust in each other, which meant that when we do get those sort of more grounded moments of getting to see Ian and Poppy's friendship beyond their bickering, there's a lot of heart in that. And I think we draw from our own friendship when we play those scenes.
Yeah, you talk about kind of the relatability of this season. And the great thing about it is it's kind of happening in real time and you're able to touch on things like the pandemic, not only just in the two kind of mid-season specials, but throughout this season as well. It's like a real recurring theme. What do you hope the fans of audiences kind of take away from the stories that are presented here in this season?
I mean, I think when we created the quarantine episode last year, which was a very quick and I think authentic response to what was going on in the world, we filmed that episode from home remotely a couple of months after everybody in the world had to start staying home because of the COVID of it all, and so that introduced this idea into the show that we were living in a similar reality to the characters of the show. And it was really beautiful to see the response to that, because I think while a lot of storytelling last year was about trying to reckon with this thing that was going on in our world, what we really tried to do with that episode was acknowledge the loneliness that was happening, as well as some of the funnier things that were happening over Zoom. And so coming back into this second season, we did this second special episode, Everlight, which is currently available, which is ultimately it's a bridge to get from that quarantine episode into season 2, but it's also just a celebration of hope, which sounds a little bit corny, but I honestly think it's what I need right now. And I really, seeing the responses from the audience has been really gratifying, because I think that it's sort of touched on what a lot of people need right now. And then going into the rest of season 2, we wanted to some extent put the pandemic behind us. We just kind of figured that in a lot of ways people were going to be sick of hearing people talk about COVID. And so I'm pretty sure throughout season 2, we don't mention COVID at all. It's just something that informs the way that the characters have changed. And I know for me on a personal level, the past year has changed a lot of the ways that I see myself, that I see the people around me, that I see my job. And I think that you see that reflected in the ways that the characters have grown and continue to grow throughout season 2.
That's absolutely fantastic. Once again, thanks so much for your time, Charlotte. I love the entire show. You're fantastic on it. Absolutely everybody is fantastic on it. And yeah, thanks again for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, really good. It's really great.
Looks completely different.
Yeah, everyone says the same thing because I loaded a picture the other day, just like a screenshot of the interview, just said interview coming next week. And I had a couple of people going, what?
Yeah.
It looks nothing like her, yeah.
Well, I remember seeing you sort of editing it together
Yeah.
in the study the other
Yeah.
day. And I had to ask you, who's that?
Yeah.
And you told me, it doesn't look like her.
Yeah. Crazy.
And her accent's funny too, I think.
Yeah, it's
She's got
Australian.
that half Australian, half American.
Yeah.
That Californian sort of
It's
accent.
interesting.
So sometimes because she's from Melbourne, isn't she?
Yeah.
So yeah, because Melbourne, we've got a certain sort of accent in Melbourne, and so sometimes you hear that come out.
Yeah.
But then there's a little twang, little California.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was fantastic to speak to, and it's always great when you get someone who gives you good answers.
Yeah, she was
Really good.
fabulous.
Yeah, I had heaps of questions that I wanted to ask her. If I'd gotten extra time, it would have been great. But yeah, sometimes you just because their schedules are so packed, you can't get any more time.
Yeah.
But that was awesome. I really appreciate the time I did get with Charlotte, and thanks to Apple for organising that and for pushing for me to get that.
Yeah, good.
And hopefully,
What a gorgeous woman.
yeah, she's amazing. She's really amazing
in every aspect.
in every aspect. Yeah, she's so good to speak to. Really fantastic.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. Thank you so much to Apple again, and check out Mythic Quest, please.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
it's
just saying
fantastic.
this because
No.
I'm plugging the show for Apple or anything. Like they didn't tell me I needed to review it or anything. They just wanted me to interview Charlotte. But fucking hell, this show is really fucking good.
It's one of the best sitcoms
Yeah.
for years, I reckon.
Yeah. So season 1, if you haven't seen it, get on it, smash it out. Season 2 again starts on Apple TV on April 7. Again, the premiere is the first 2 episodes, and then there's one more in the following each week after that. So there you go.
Love it.
Look, we'd usually play shite or all right at this point, but
Oh, what are you doing to me?
I don't want to risk overdoing it. I want to try and
Shot or right burnout.
Yeah, I don't want to burn everyone out on it because people are enjoying it, and I don't want to burn it out. So what I want to do is to try and kind of introduce a few new kind of different games every now and then.
Okay.
We can rotate, but we got a special one this week. Okay, I'm calling this one. Well, I won't tell you what I'm calling it. Firstly, I'll tell you what this is kind of on the back of. I don't know if you really heard about this, but for some time, both Citizen Kane, which is long heralded as the greatest movie of all time, right?
Debatable.
Citizen Kane and Paddington 2 are like the 2 top movies on Rotten Tomatoes, both with 100% ratings, which, again, if you don't understand how Rotten Tomatoes works, it's a very simple system where people don't write reviews for Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes basically cobbles up reviews from accredited critics.
Yep.
And
Of which one you are?
Of which one I am, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
What? Of which one you are, yes, that's correct. So they cobble up all these reviews from their accredited critics.
Of which one
No, that's correct.
are you? Oh, whatever.
No, you are. You are, of which you are one of, you could say.
That's it. That's what I was trying to think of.
God's sake. Anyway, so they cobble up all the reviews, and I think it's something like anything like below, I don't know, it depends on what your rating is. It can either be a fresh or a rotten rating. So if it's good rating, it's fresh. If it's rotten, it's rotten. So when I submit mine, I can give a star rating, and I also select whether it's a fresh or rotten.
Yep.
So they weigh it up, and the percentage just reflects how many reviews are positive.
Right, okay.
So if Citizen Kane and Paddington 2 are 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, that means 100% of the ratings have been positive.
Right.
So then if you get a 50%, that means 50% of the reviews are positive, 50% of the reviews are negative. Right?
Yep.
So it's always based on that how many positive ratings there are on the website.
Okay.
So essentially, every review for Citizen Kane and Paddington 2 is positive up until recently.
Oh,
Rotten Tomatoes dug up an 80-year-old review for Citizen Kane published in 1941, which was a negative review. And it's taken Citizen Kane down to 99%.
Why would they do that?
Don't know. Don't know.
Maybe maybe the administrators think, I hate that film. It can't be number one.
So this was a review that again came from a newspaper from 1941, which was when the film was released. It was written by Matinee, which is apparently a pseudonym that was used a lot in film reviews.
Oh, really?
Matinee,
yeah.
So anyway, the review read, Citizen Kane fails to impress critic as greatest ever filmed. Because even then, even when Citizen Kane first opened, people were saying this is the best movie that's ever been made.
Yeah.
And that's why that forever, Citizen Kane, people have looked at that as, it's the greatest movie ever made.
Because people can't think for themselves.
Yeah, exactly right.
People are sheep.
Especially when it comes to film criticism, yeah. It is a fantastic, innovative film, but it's not the best film ever made.
No.
In my opinion, anyway. There was a little bit more. You've heard a lot about this picture, and I see by the ads that some experts think it's the greatest movie ever made. I don't. It's interesting. It's different. In fact, it's bizarre enough to become a museum piece, which it has become 80 years later. Really.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But its sacrifice of simplicity to eccentricity robs it of distinction and general entertainment value. Fucking spot on. 80 years ago, someone has watched that and gone, no. I don't get all the fucking hype.
Somebody could think for themselves back then.
Yeah. I feel like this is like my previous life.
Yeah.
I've sat there and gone, this isn't that fucking good.
Yeah.
Technically, brilliant achievement.
Oh, for its time, yeah, exactly.
For its
right.
time.
But I feel it with a lot of films. Because some critic says it's good, people believe it has to be good.
Yeah, exactly right. And
I think, that was good.
Citizen Kane is at the top of that. 2001: A Space Odyssey is another one.
That's a piece of
I'm going to get hung. But anyway, that's my opinions. So Rotten Tomatoes dug up this old review. There's now one negative review for Citizen Kane and 115 positive reviews. That brings the rating down to 99% fresh. Still fresh, just not 100%. And now Paddington is the highest rated movie, considered the greatest movie of all time, Paddington 2 on Rotten Tomatoes. So what I want to do today is I want to play a game called Kane or Paddingtane 2.
Oh, God.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I've gone through Rotten Tomatoes. I've dug up some reviews for both Citizen Kane and Paddington 2.
Right.
I'm going to give you a review from both of them, and you have to guess which one is from Citizen Kane, which one's from Paddington. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. You ready? First review. It is daring, different, thrilling, and revolutionary. A power play of startling brilliance. Okay, that's review number one. Now, review number two. An oasis of gentility and niceness amid a world and cinematic landscape of increasing cynicism and narcissism. So, which is which?
The first one's Paddington, the second one's Kane.
Wrong one. Wrong. Yeah. So, the first one, Kane, it's daring, different, thrilling, and revolutionary, a power play of startling brilliance. And Paddington, an oasis of gentility and niceness amid a world and cinematic landscape of increasing cynicism and narcissism.
It sounded too obvious.
Yeah. All right, next one. If more writers and directors respected their audience, as Redacted clearly does, the world's entertainment output would be significantly improved. And it's not an entertaining film, but it is also it's not only an entertaining film, but it's also a deeply heartfelt, thought-provoking, and intelligent one too. Which one's Kane? Which one's Paddingtane too?
Well, it sounds like Kane was the first one, but I'm going to say it's the other way. Paddington first and then Kane.
Oh,
Oh,
Correct, yes. So Paddington is a film that if more writers and directors respected their audience, as the director of Paddington 2 clearly does, the world's entertainment output will be significantly improved. And Kane is not only an entertaining film, but is also a deeply heartfelt, thought-provoking and intelligent one as well.
Yeah, so you'd think that you would think that was Paddington.
Paddington, yeah. I've done it quite well here.
Yeah.
All right, another round?
Yep.
All right. It's a perfect film. A cinematic marvel that is humorous and heartfelt, suspenseful and sentimental, and witty without cynicism. Second one, I would say it's a great picture, but it is one of those things like the pyramids, which are impressive and definitely interesting to have seen, but one can have more fun than looking at the pyramids. Which one's which?
Jeez, it could be, but both could be for either.
So is Paddington a perfect film, a cinematic marvel that is humorous and heartfelt and suspense and sentimental and witty without cynicism, or is Paddington likened to the pyramids of Egypt?
I reckon the first one.
Is Paddington?
Yeah. Hey.
Correct, yeah, there you go.
There we go.
So Kane is likened to the pyramids, and Paddington is a perfect film and a cinematic marvel. Do you have another round?
Yeah, sure.
I've got another one here.
Yeah.
Put Redacted on your absolutely must-see list. Whether you like it or not, it will be a film experience you won't soon forget. And a nearly perfect movie that thoroughly and genuinely restores something we haven't seen a lot of lately, childhood wonder. Now, which is which? Keep in mind, Citizen Kane is about a guy who has repressed memories of his childhood and has to reconnect with himself in his older age as he was as a child. It goes back to Rosebud, the idea of his sled when he was a child.
Just read the
Spoilers.
first one again.
First one is put Redacted on your absolutely must-see list. Whether you like it or not, it will be a film experience you won't soon forget. Or a nearly perfect movie that thoroughly and genuinely restores something we haven't seen a lot of lately, childhood wonder. Which is which?
Kane first, Paddington second.
Correct, yeah, you got it right again. Well done.
Three out of four.
There you go. So Kane is an absolute must-see, and Paddington is a childhood wonder, a perfect movie. I've got one more. Should we just do... Actually, I've got two more. How many more do we do?
Just
I'll
do
just
it.
fucking do it. I'm having fun. Okay, so an utterly charming, beautifully judged, and genuinely heartwarming tale of triumph of good over evil. And it can be classified as, in a number of aspects, one of the most arresting pictures ever produced. Which is which?
Paddington, then Kane.
Hey! Yay! Got it again! Yeah, so Paddington is utterly charming, beautifully judged, genuinely heartwarming, triumph of good over evil, and Kane can be classified as one of the most arresting pictures ever produced. There you go. We got one more. Here we go. Is he going to win one more? One says it is gloriously entertaining. The other says everything from the sweet, precisely melodramatic performances to Redacted's mile-a-minute setups and payoffs works like a charm. So which is which? Which is a gloriously entertaining classic, and which is a mile-a-minute, it's a sweet, precisely melodramatic film, blah, 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 blah. Which is which?
Kane, then Paddington.
Oh! You got them all except for the first one. There you go.
Awesome.
There you go. So,
God. But yeah, it's funny. You can choose either, almost any of those for any of the film.
Yeah,
either of the films.
So there you go. Paddingtane 2 is our number one, is our new greatest movie of all time.
Oh, God.
There you go. So that's our game this week. Kane or Paddingtane 2?
Got to find another name if you want to do that with the two other films later down the track.
But it's a good one. Let us know if you enjoyed that game.
Yeah, it's good.
Shite or all right, we'll return. But we want to mix it up with a few other games.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've
We
had...
have the world's worst manager onto that.
Yeah, we will. He's given me a few, but I just forget them.
Yep.
So, now the fun's out of the way.
Yep.
I'm a bit mad this week.
Oh, no. Dave's pissed off.
Yeah. You could talk about the Oscars.
I was going to say the Oscars. Yeah.
Fucking hell, what a clusterfuck.
Oh, it wasn't it shit.
Mm-hmm.
We sat there watching it together and I thought, oh, my God. Jeez, didn't they fuck that up?
Fucking disaster, man.
Yeah.
I love I don't know. I've always enjoyed watching the Oscars. When I was younger, I loved it. I used to like come home, I'd like avoid everything for the day. It was easier when I was a kid because there's no social media or any of that shit.
Yeah,
I would just avoid the radio when I got home from school, or avoid going on IMDb when I got home from school. And then at night I would watch, because they'd play the telecast in the evening, and I'd watch it then. And then these days, obviously, if I'm not home, I have to avoid fucking everything. I just have to stay off your phone for a day until you get home. You can watch it. This year, luckily, I was at home. I could watch it live. Obviously, work from home, so I could watch it live. I wasn't planning on watching it live. I was going to, because I've got my TV on my desk in my study, so I can stream stuff to the television or the monitor. So I streamed straight to that, and I was going to have that playing sort of on the side while I was doing work, kind of like what I did with the Golden Globes this year. Mm-hmm. But I sat on the couch. I thought I'll watch the beginning and then I'll kind of go and whatever. I just got stuck on the couch the whole day, watching the whole 3 hours of it.
Watching Tripe on the couch for 3 hours.
I'm not a huge fan of the Oscars anymore, because I always feel like 90% of the time, the movies that have this Oscar buzz, I just don't enjoy. They're always like really pretentious, Oscar baity kind of movies, and they're just not the kind of things that me or you are particularly into. And 90% of the time, Tree of Life, 90% of the time we'll watch a movie and be like, I get what all the fuss is about. So the last few years I've soured over the Oscars, but you look back the 90s, the early 2000s, movies like fucking Gladiator and Braveheart and The Lord of the Rings and The Departed and all these great movies are always up for awards. Yeah. I feel like the Academy has moved away from that kind of, maybe cinema's moved away from that kind of thing as well. It's more kind of celebrating like the big pomp and pretentious films and shit like that. So my relationship with the Oscars is a bit like this, but it's still the big...
And they lobby for the shit too, don't they?
They do lobby, but that's how it's always worked. Yeah. The studios lobby for their awards. So if you're just a guy who's made like a really great independent film, it could be the best movie of the year. If you haven't lobbied for that, you're not going to get a nomination. Yeah. And they throw millions of dollars into that. Like they could spend the budget of the film on the Oscar on the Oscar campaign, publish print ads in like Variety and a Hollywood Reporter and big fucking billboards, and they'll send for your consideration things around to everyone, and they just spend a shitload of money just trying to get whatever. So anyway, it's still the big movie day of the year, and I still watch it, and I still kind of get a little involved. I never do any of like the prediction shit or any of that, because half the time I've only watched like 30% of the movies going into it, and it's just one of those things I'm happy to watch. I'm happy to watch as fucking Brad Pitt prances around on the stage, or, watch Natalie Portman sitting in the audience, and just the whole the glitz and glamour of it all. I enjoy that aspect of it. Sometimes I'll watch more recent years I haven't been watching the red carpet, but I used to watch the red carpet and then the whole thing. Anyway, so this year it started really well because of the pandemic and everything. They didn't do it in the big theater on Hollywood Boulevard. They did it at the train station.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the train stations in LA, and like a ballroom. Really gorgeous venue, and they had like tables set up. It was almost like a
dinner party.
Yeah, it was like a dinner thing, except people weren't actually having dinner. Yeah, they were rotating guests out all night. Yeah. So depending on whether you were relevant to that section or that award that was coming out, you would get filtered in. The big people, like the people up for like the actress awards and the actor awards and the directing and the best picture and stuff, they were there, I believe, the whole time. But everyone else was kind of just moved in and out all night as they were needed. But it was really, really well set up. They got straight into it. There was no host again this year, because 2 years ago, they've always struggled with the host, and the host is always shit. It's always the worst part.
Unless it's Ricky Gervais.
Well, yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So the last 2 years they've done this thing where they do, last year they had rotating hosts, but this year they kind of did that, but it was more so just people would come out and just do the awards without the host stuff. I thought it was good Because within the first 10 minutes of the ceremony, you had an award given away. Within 15 minutes, there were 2 awards given away, whereas usually you'd be waiting half an hour while the host is up there doing a fucking song and dance and doing stupid gags and shit for half an hour.
10-minute monologue.
Yeah, and the monologue and all that crap, which is always just shit. But anyway, they got straight into the awards, which was great. I was loving it. The setup really reminded me of like the earliest Academy Awards, like the 1920s, where they would set up in it would be a ballroom. They'd all have tables, and someone would stand up there and just fucking read out the winners. Yeah. You'd come up, you'd take your award off the table, and that was it. So it really reminded me of that. Felt really classic Hollywood. I even tweeted out where I was like, man, they should do the Oscars like this every single year because this is so good. It's so efficient. You cut all the bullshit out of it. You get straight into the awards. It's about the awards. It's about the people, and the speeches were allowed to run longer.
I noticed that too.
Because
instead of getting the 2 minutes that they did before, a minute and a half,
because they cut out all the bullshit, people are actually able to go out there and give a proper speech,
exactly
which
right.
I thought was fantastic. I was thinking, this is great. But they weren't getting played off. They weren't, had Questlove there was the DJ instead of an orchestra. I just thought the whole thing was really good. Then it took a fucking turn with about 40 minutes left to go, where all of a sudden it was almost like they were like, shit.
Kingdom the Crystal Skull sort of turn.
Yeah. It's almost like they went, fucking hell, we've got an hour left. We've cut all the comedy bits, we've cut all this, because they didn't have music performances either. They were all done beforehand. Yeah. There was like a music show they did before. It didn't air here. But because whenever they have like the best song category, throughout the night they will have the artist come out and perform the song. So throughout the night, all the songs will get a performance. They did that like as a pre-show this year. So it's almost like they went, fucking hell, we've cut everything out and now we've got like an hour left. What can we do? They played a game.
Oh, yeah, wasn't shit.
And I don't know, like, I'm sure this was pre-planned, but it was so shit that it felt like they went, fuck, we need something here. Questlove, just make up a game, pull out some music and play something. What they did was like this, it was like a Questlove, they brought out Lil Ray Howery, who's a comedic actor, and he came out and he and Questlove did like this little game which was like... guess whether the tune that Questlove is playing is won the Academy Award or was just nominated for Academy Award or wasn't nominated, or whatever the fuck the game was. So they went around to people in the crowd and asked if they'd play a song. So like he'd play Purple Rain, and then Lil Ray Howery would go and ask someone whether they thought won an award. It was just crap. Yeah. Just a crap game.
Just shit.
And just the comedy of it all, it just brought back all that really shitty Oscars, Academy Awards, ceremony shit that they had cut out prior to this moment. Yeah. It was going so well until they went, fuck, let's bring a game into this. They must have spent 10 or 15 minutes on this game.
Oh, yeah, easy. It was easy 10 minutes.
It just went on and on. And I'm talking to people like, what the fuck is this?
I think I got up and walked out while it was on, did something else.
Crap. So crap. So then
wasn't good at all.
So the next segment after that was the In Memoriam.
Oh, that pissed me off. That really pissed me off.
Do you know how long they spent on the In Memoriam?
I don't know.
3 minutes.
Oh, you're kidding.
I should let you guess. 3 minutes.
I saw it written there.
Yeah.
That's just bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
If you didn't see this In Memoriam was played to an upbeat song. Yep. I can't remember what the song was, like a Stevie Wonder song or something like that, like a really upbeat kind of boppy, like jazzy kind of thing, which did not fit this In Memoriam at all, because usually you've got sort of like a heartfelt, slow and whatever. And they went through the people.
Exactly. It was going so quick. They'd have the image of the person up with their name. Yeah. And they have a date. Just their
usually
name,
like the birthday.
Yeah. And it was going so fast, you couldn't look at the picture of the person and read their name. Yeah. You'd read the name, you'd look at them, and it was gone. Yeah. Shit, that was quick.
Yeah. Some people are on there longer than others.
Go on.
Some people were on there longer than others, but it wasn't always like they would stop and pause for someone that was really well known. It was just really randomly done because they cut it to the music.
Yes, that's right. I was going to say if you look at it, it was like it was an automated all the images were loaded up.
Yeah.
And it was determined how long they would be on by the beat of the music.
Yeah.
Because when the music was more upbeat, they were going quicker.
Yeah.
And when it slowed down a little bit, they were up a bit longer.
Really slow. So it was disgraceful.
Just awful.
It was a real fucking disgrace.
And all these people have spent their life in that industry and working their asses off and everything else and producing stuff for you and I and everyone else to look at, and they don't pay the due respect to them that they deserved. It was a fucking disgrace.
It was awful.
Absolute
terrible.
Disgrace.
And
I mean, they could have pissed that game off and actually had somebody compose some music for it and spent 10 minutes on it.
Yeah.
Because there were heaps of people pass away last year.
Oh,
and a lot of them through COVID as well.
Yeah. A lot of elderly people who died through COVID, and then a lot of big stars died last year. Like a lot of the greats, the legends of the screen passed away last year as well because they're in their 80s or their 90s.
Yeah, that's right.
And some of these people, they didn't pause for and give you some time to acknowledge them. It's just like Diana Rigg, great actress, who was on the original Avengers series and did so many great movies and stuff. She passed away not long ago. And she was one of the ones where they just went straight through. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
They, of course, ended it with Sean Connery and Chadwick Boseman. I personally think, I don't believe there should have been any fucking order to this other than alphabetical.
Exactly
it should have been done alphabetically from the beginning.
It should always be done that way.
You don't put anyone else above anyone else.
And the way they did it is like they're saying that, because he's an on-screen actor, he was more important than the person that wrote the words he speaks.
Yeah. And you had people like...
Which if that person wasn't... If they didn't have a good script writer... Sean Connery or whoever, wouldn't have the words to speak on screen.
Ennio Morricone died last year, and he composed some of the greatest. You talk about how fucking prolific John Williams is. He's got almost nothing on Ennio Morricone, and his films. You talk about fucking Western films, spaghetti westerns from Italy, dramas from Hollywood, weird science fiction films, things that you never heard of. He did the soundtrack to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and The Mission, iconic soundtracks. He died last year. He was one of the ones they just fucking went, fuck, next. Like, what the fuck?
When you're talking about that guy, and you look at the sort of music that he would have been producing because there's such a variety of type of films that he was writing them for, westerns and whatever. And then you look at Williams.
Yeah.
What's his name?
John Williams, yeah.
You can tell his music.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Randy, what's his name?
Randy Newman.
Randy Newman's the same. If it's a Randy Newman soundtrack,
exactly
know it.
Iconic style.
Exactly. But I reckon, what's his name? Sorry,
Morricone.
Morricone. Yeah. Well, I don't think you'd be able to pick if that's his music or not from... Because there's so Western music.
I think I agree. I personally couldn't pick out one of his scores, but once he's written it, it's one of those. I think he's one of those composers where you listen to the music, you're like, this is fucking gorgeous. Who wrote this? And you look at it and you go, fuck, of course it was Morricone.
Right, okay. But what he says, so what I'm saying is you get that sort of thing, and then you get a Williams.
Yeah.
Or
where he's got this iconic style that he brings to everything.
You can tell there's a certain sound to what they're producing every time.
Yeah. But this is a guy that has just been so influential. He's won, I don't even know how many Academy Awards. I think he's one of the top, along with John Williams, to have won the most amount for score. And they just brushed past him. So incredibly influential person. But again, he's probably not someone who would be known as well to main, I guess, people now as John Williams or Randy Newman or whatever. But he deserved, because he's been working his ass off for so long, and then got brushed off like that. So there should have been a alphabetical order. Put in an alphabetical order. Leave everyone up there for the exact same amount of time. Show that respect.
Yeah, exactly right.
To end, Sean Connery, Chadwick Boseman. Again, I'm not a fan of ordering anyone, but if you're going to order people, Sean Connery before Chadwick Boseman?
No, I would have had Sean Connery.
I love them both. I love them both. I love Chadwick Boseman. I love everything he did in his career. Black Panther, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, his performance in that, The Five Bloods, everything he did was incredible, and that he performed so powerfully through that cancer, insane.
Yeah.
But this guy had such a
small
window compared to Sean Connery, whose life spent
exactly
60, 70 years performing in films, and you put him before. And the thing that pisses me off about that is because they tried to make the whole night about Chadwick Boseman, and it was just really fucking disgusting, and you could tell.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I was watching this thing going, you know where they're going with this in memoriam. You know.
Yeah,
and when I
exactly
saw
right.
Sean Connery come up,
you'd said that.
I said, I guarantee I know
last.
what's happening here.
Yeah.
And they put Chadwick Boseman at the end. I understand it. Like, terrific. I love him, and I was devastated when he passed away. But I was devastated when Sean Connery passed away as well,
exactly.
because he's a guy who I've watched for my whole life in all of his films.
Yeah.
And
it's just the body of work, like the body of work that Connery has produced.
Yeah.
Compared to Chadwick, and we're not saying that one actor was better than the other or anything like that. It's just purely and simply the fact that Sean Connery spends so many years and has got such a large body of work.
Yeah, well, I'm looking here. He's done. He's done 93. He did 93 films in his career.
It's insane.
So what I'm saying, what we're trying to get at, is the way that the Academy decided to put people over other people.
Exactly right.
Is just a fucking disgrace. Yeah. And the way that they tried to make this symbol out of Chadwick Boseman for the entire ceremony was fucking sickening.
Yeah.
And I noticed from that moment, I was like, this is not going well.
Yeah.
Because, fucking hell, the next thing, right? They mixed up a lot of the categories. Best Director was like the third or fourth one that they handed out, which is usually one of the last ones. It's usually like the fourth last one they do. Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, or Best Actress, then Best Actor, then Best Picture.
Yeah.
And they mixed it up. And everyone's like, they mixed it up a bit this year. It's not bad. It's pretty good. It's just a little bit fresh. But then once you realise what they were doing, when they put that the Best Picture came third last.
That's right.
You realise, I know where they're fucking going with this.
Yeah, exactly.
So they had they had the Best Picture, then they did Best Actress, and then they did Best Actor. And obviously, it was obvious to everyone. I said, I know what they're fucking doing here.
Yeah.
I said, it's either obvious that Chadwick Boseman has won this award, and they're probably just giving it to him. Again, nothing against his performance, which is incredible in that film.
Oh, it's great.
To me, I feel like it's such an Oscars thing to give it to someone just because they passed away.
Well, they sort of did it with Heath Ledger too.
They did it exactly right
Same
with
thing.
Heath Ledger. So I thought, because it happened with Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger's performance was fantastic.
Amazing.
But
it's a thing. It's a recurring thing that happens.
The fact that they gave it to him because he.
It is. It's not necessarily that they did that, but you get the feeling that is part of the reason it happened. And you felt like going into this that, all right, it's probably going to happen this year. He's passed away. This is their last chance to honour him. I understand that. But then the way that they structured this whole ceremony around the fact that they believed that he was going to win.
Yeah,
they suckered people in to watch this ceremony with the belief that, we're going to have a big payoff. Chadwick's going to win. We're going to pay this huge tribute to him. It's going to be so fucking wonderful. They get to the end. Joaquin Phoenix comes out and announces Best Actor, and it's not Chadwick. It's Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins wasn't there. He was in Wales. This is funny. Anthony Hopkins stuck around in Hollywood until he could get his vaccine, then fucked off back home to Wales. So good. I love it. So he's back home in Wales, and he was probably asleep at the time. It was like 3 or 4 a.m. over there at the time. There was no acceptance speech for him, so they abruptly ended the show.
Yeah,
it was Joaquin Phoenix was like, and the winner is Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins isn't here. The Academy graciously accepts this award on his behalf. Good night,
Thanks
everyone.
for watching. Good night.
And that was it.
Yeah.
It just fucking ended. And then I think they went to Questlove, and it was almost like Questlove quickly wrap up the show. He's like, thanks for watching the show, and whatever. See you later. Man, Twitter lit up.
Did they have a package put together for Chadwick Boseman?
I guarantee they did.
I reckon they.
I guarantee they did. They had. Now, how it works is the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, they vote for the awards, They vote for the winners, but no one in the Academy is privy to who's won. ABC, in this instance, who's airing the show, produce it for television.
Right.
The producers of the Oscars, the awards, the ceremony, the telecast, don't know the winners either. There's only two people who know the winners, and they're from the accounting firm that counts the ballots.
The auditors,
The auditors. So they're the only two that know who's won.
Yeah.
So the ABC, whoever's been in charge of this, the producers, have gone into this going, yeah, Chadwick's going to win it. We'll get Chadwick. We'll do this. We'll turn the whole thing around. In their mind, they've probably gone, he's passed away. They're definitely going to give it to him as well.
Yeah,
just as everyone
right.
probably assumes is going to happen.
Yeah.
Again, not disrespecting his performance, which was fucking incredible in that film. But everyone just kind of assumed he was going to win it for a variety of reasons. And he would have been deserving of it too. I haven't seen The Father, but from what I've heard from people who have seen The Father, I know Austin Burke, who I've had on a number of times, really fantastic YouTuber, really great guy, good friend of mine. That was his favourite film of this year, The Father. And he said absolutely, totally deserving of that award. But I watched his, he did like a reaction, like a live reaction thing, and even he was shocked. Anthony Hopkins won the award. Everyone thought Chadwick was going to win. But he was like, yeah, this is deserving that Hopkins has won. But it's shock. It's a shock.
Yeah.
So the ABC or whoever the ABC has hired to produce this whole thing has gone into it thinking he's going to win it. Let's just turn this whole show into to a thing about Chadwick. We're going to end on best actor. Chadwick's going to win it. It's going to be like this big emotional moment, probably some sort of package that they've put together to honour his life. They had his wife there and his parents apparently were there, ready on the wings to come out and accept the award, and he wasn't there. And some people are like, how dare you bring these people out in the middle of a pandemic?
Exactly right.
When it's not a fucking done it, not 100%. And they were sure of it. So the whole thing just fucking stunk. And everyone's like, this is the dumpster fire. The whole thing. Twitter lit up all afternoon. People were just ragging on the Academy and the producers, and no one was... I think people got a little bit confused. Some people thought everyone was trying to hang it on Anthony Hopkins for winning over Chadwick and not being there and not accepting the award, but that's not what it was about. That's the whole...
But didn't he ask for a spot? Didn't he
I
ask
was
for a
getting to
slot?
that. I was getting to that. He had... Fucking hell, man. Let me find this. IndieWire reported that Hopkins and his agents had requested a Zoom stream in the event that he won the award. IndieWire says that the three rookie Oscar show producers, Steven Soderbergh, Stacey Sher, and Glenn Collins, took advantage of the pandemic limitations to apply a fresh twist on the formula. Right? So they tried to push this real movie aesthetic. They shot with like proper movie cameras and stuff. It looked really cinematic. And to push this movie aesthetic and increase nominee attendance, no Zooms were permitted. Satellite hookups at hubs around the world, including London, Paris, Sydney, and Rome, supplied other acceptance speeches. So there were people all around the world in these hubs, so they were filmed nice and cinematically, but they didn't allow any Zooms. And apparently Hopkins, the wording here is that Hopkins and his agency pleaded with them. He couldn't get to the two nearest hubs, which was, I think...
It's one in London, wasn't it?
One in London, one in Dublin or something. Yeah, Dublin and London. He couldn't get there. He's like an 80-something-year-old... He's like an 83-year-old man. And he said, I don't want to travel. It's a pandemic. I don't want to travel to London. I want to travel to Dublin. I just want to be at home. He's now at home in Wales. And he's probably going to stay there and live there now for however long he's got. He apparently they pleaded, please let him, please. 83-year-old man. They said no, absolutely not. And this was probably partly because they went, no, he's not going to win it, so why even bother setting it up? And Chadwick's going to win, and he fucking wins. And he's not there to even give a Zoom.
That's just hilarious.
It's almost like, oh, this is your punishment for not... God. Apparently now Olivia Colman, who is his co-star in The Father, she was at the London hub. Apparently they had planned to have her deliver the speech on his behalf, but they abruptly cancelled. They just abruptly ended the show before they could even give her the chance to come and do it.
Oh, disgraceful.
The whole thing was just a fucking cock up, and you could see that they just ended it. Because even I looked at you like, "Oh, is that it? They've just finished it. Oh, he's not here. See you later." So they should have just left it the normal way. You would have had the best picture comes like it would have been an upset. Like, oh shit, Chadwick Boseman didn't win. But then you close the show out on the best picture.
Yeah.
The whole team from that film comes up. They accept it. It's a big the end of the Oscars is always this big moment where everyone rushes the stage, and that's how you should have, not necessarily people rushing the stage this time around because of the pandemic, but you have all the people up there from the film, the best picture winning film, which was Nomadland this year. They all go up there. They accept the award. Thank you so much. The night ends.
Yeah.
Not in this fucking... Oh, man. I was so mad.
Yeah, they obviously, just aimed it towards Chadwick winning and who completely cocked it up.
Variety spoke with Rob Mills from the ABC. He's the executive of Unscripted and Alternative Entertainment.
Not the Australian Rob
Not
Mills.
Rob Mills, not Millsy, no. ABC's Rob Mills, executive of Unscripted and Alternative Entertainment at Walt Disney Television, spoke to Variety. And he said it wasn't just they asked him about, well, what was the deal with this, essentially. It wasn't just the final categories. The whole show was mixed up. Screenplay that usually comes in Act 5 or 6, one of the later acts. Best Director was also very early. I think the point was sometimes you watch the show and you feel like, gosh, I've seen this every year. So it was really like, wow, I really didn't see what was coming next. It was not meant to end on somebody who was not present. It was a calculated risk.
Don't want their calculator.
They've obviously gone, yeah, Chadwick's going to win this.
Oh, yeah,
he's going to win it. So we'll have his wife there, his parents there, his family there to accept the award. And if he doesn't win it, someone else will win, and they'll come up and they'll accept the award anyway. It was not meant to end on somebody who was not present. You can't guarantee that, though. There's no meant to about this in this situation. There's no, it's meant to go this way.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Hook up fucking Anthony Hopkins on the Zoom just in case he wins the award. This shows their total lack of respect and their total lack of belief that Anthony Hopkins, who has given a fucking lifetime of performances, it's them going, yeah, he's not going to win it. Fucking hell, it just pisses me off the more I think about it. Anyway, he continued to say, Millsy, says, not the Australian Millsy, this other Millsy, he says that I think it still paid off because everybody was talking about it. Similarly, nobody wants the wrong envelope to happen like it did 3 years ago, but everyone was talking about it. So just as long as people are talking about it, it's a win for us.
It's like that old saying that any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, fucking hell, man.
A lot of bullshit.
The whole thing's a disgrace. Look, it's so obvious that they planned the whole evening around Chadwick Boseman, trying to make... I don't know if I want to say a martyr out of him, but it almost felt very much like that, didn't it? Yeah, that they tried to make him this holier-than-thou presence over the whole thing.
Yeah.
Terrific actor, incredible person, but I just think the way that they just tried to use him to get the views,
exactly right.
the viewers and everything else, and the way they put him on this insane pedestal is just such in bad taste. This was produced by the ABC, who is Disney, who did Black Panther, who did fucking... You just think, what do you... Like, fuck me.
Yeah. They're just playing on people's emotions by using
that's
him.
exactly what it is.
And that's what they did. They used him.
Yeah.
You know, and that's an absolute disgrace.
They also included an NFT of Chadwick Boseman's head, of his face, like a bust.
Oh,
now I don't believe the Academy is behind these gift bags. The Academy used to give out gift bags to everyone that comes to the awards, but now they hire this separate PR agency, put together gift bags. Sometimes it's like they give everyone a car, or they give everyone an electric scooter, they give everyone spa days, all this shit. Now these are like $1 million gift bags. Now this one gift bag that was given out was like a $1.5-2 million gift bag. It had a spa day. It had all this other bullshit. And then they gave away an NFT of Chadwick's bust. Now, I don't really know what an NFT is. It's one of those things that I don't understand. I don't really want to understand it. It's almost like a digital... It stands for non-fungible token, so it's a non-tangible thing.
Yep.
It's a digital item
Digital
that you can
item,
give away. So I suppose like a digital copy of a movie it could be an NFT. So it was this artist created like this bust of Chadwick, which is like has like African music, like kind of Wakandan music in the background, drums and stuff, and you've got all these flowers and stuff come up, and his face is in the middle, and this light all shining on him and shit. It leaked on Twitter, of course it did. And this was in this gift bag. Now, as far as I can understand, in this case, the NFT is like a digital artwork or like a digital trading card, maybe.
Right, yeah.
But apparently these are worth like people pay millions of dollars for an NFT.
People are
this
morons.
digital piece of art, because what happens when you buy the NFT, you get the original file. So you don't get a copy of the file, you get that original file. So it would be like me buying, if I wanted to buy an artwork or one of your photographs, me buying the original raw file from you.
Yep.
So you give me the original raw file on like a card or something,
Yep.
and I bought the original file. And there's apparently some sort of crypto thing in there that tells you that this is the original one, like a copy.
Yep.
Anyway, again, I don't quite understand it. Don't really want to. But in this case, they gave out like a digital, what I can only describe as a digital visual trading card of Chadwick Boseman. They also auctioned one off, which they tried to sell for like $1.5 million or some crazy shit like this. And just the whole thing just stinks. They just used him as like this figurehead, and it's just the whole thing's a fucking disgrace. The Oscars back in 2014 had 43.7 million viewers, and over the years it's steadily declined, and this year they got 9.8 million viewers.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and I fucking guarantee you next
Well, it's
year...
down from, 23.6 last year?
Yeah.
God.
I can guarantee you next year there'll be even less than that after this cock-up. Absolute disgrace this was been.
Unbelievable.
And I was mad because I sat and watched it for 3 hours.
3 hours of your life.
I wasn't going to watch it. I was like, I'll do my work during it. It just made me so mad. Just like, how the fuck have you done this? That I just couldn't get in the headspace to do any work. I don't think it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things where I'm like, I've sat here, I've watched this. They've played with me. They've played with nearly 10 million other people around the world who are watching this. And I just felt so fucking just sick that I watched it.
It was pretty bad.
And I was like, I fucking wish I hadn't watched that.
Yeah.
In one respect, I'm glad that I watched it live, that I was there at the moment just watching it thinking, what the fuck? It took me ages to get into work that day because I just wasn't there.
Yeah, but the two things that really pissed me off was that the in memoriam.
Yeah.
And
again, get rid of that game or shave fucking, if you have to do the game, make it 5 minutes and give like 10, 15 minutes to the in memoriam. Yeah.
So the in memoriam, they fucked that up.
Yeah.
And just the way they ended it all, and the way they used Boseman,
disgraceful. Fucking hell. Anyway,
I remember when we were watching it, we just bloody pissed ourselves laughing when they finished it because
I was like,
they've
what?
just gone.
You couldn't.
Bang, done,
you had
finished,
to laugh.
go.
Yeah, like I've seen videos of people reacting when they did the same thing. They just reacted like laughter. Like, what the hell have you done? Like one of those just. It's one of those situations where there's nothing else you can do but laugh. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck have you done? This is just laugh at the fact that the whole thing was such a clusterfuck. Fucking hell, man. It's pissed me off. It's been pissing me off all week, and I'm glad that it's finally Friday I've been able to vent because it was just a fucking disgrace. I hope they never pull any of that bullshit ever again. But anyway, apparently Anthony Hopkins was very deserving of that Oscar. I'm so glad that he got it. His last Oscar was 92 or 93 for Silence of the Lambs. So long deserved. It would have been great to see Chadwick Boseman win an Oscar in his life. It would have been fantastic again, but again, the Academy votes who they believe earned the best performance of the year. And that went to Anthony Hopkins this year, which I think is really fantastic. I think all the winners all round, we were going to speak a little bit about it, but we're running a bit low on time. I was very happy with pretty much all the awards that went out. We had seen Judas and the Black Messiah, and Daniel Kaluuya won Best Supporting Actor, which was so good to see. I was really happy to see him win that.
That was a great film.
And in particular, again, I could go through them all. His performance
was amazing.
It was really
absolutely amazing.
Really terrific, powerful, and I'm so glad that did win that Best Supporting Actor. And a few other things. Soul won Best Animated Picture, which I was very happy with. I fucking love that movie. Beautiful, it also won Best Original Best Original Soundtrack Score. I said to you, it has to be
gorgeous.
Soul. Incredible music. Both the jazz music and also that kind of ethereal music that's in there as well. Promising Young Woman won Best Screenplay, which I was very happy with. I said last week if Carey Mulligan didn't win Best Actress, I would go wild in here and pour water all over the place. But she didn't win. That went to who won that? Frances McDormand won for Nomadland. Haven't seen it, but she's a terrific actress, so I'm very happy that she's walked away with another Academy Award. I think she's got 3 now. I think 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was 3.
But yeah, so very happy with that. And so happy that Chloe Zhao won not only Best Director, but Best Picture for Nomadland. Again, we haven't seen it, but the film looks fantastic. It looks gorgeous. And she has become the first woman of colour, the first Chinese woman, and the second ever woman to win for Best Directing. So she's knocked off a shitload of these, what do you call them? Records sort of things. Yeah. Broken a lot of records. Fantastic. Again, I haven't seen Nomadland. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Actually, I think that's gone on Disney Plus tonight. Funny thing, when they were accepting the Best Picture, Frances McDormand got up there and said, watch this on the biggest screen possible. Go to theaters, go and see it. Yeah. The next thing, they went to an ad break. The first ad was for Disney Plus, Nomadland. Coming to Disney Plus.
That's hilarious. Watch it on your phone.
Yeah. I thought it was very funny. But that is going to Disney Plus. Now, Chloe Zhao, again, who directed Nomadland, directed The Eternals for Marvel, which is coming out this year. It was supposed to come out last year. And they're saying this movie is like fucking out of this world.
Really?
Yeah, she really pushed for... this is a film that's kind of about... Well, the Eternals are like this ancient race of beings that were sort of there at the beginning of the universe and helped create it, or they're like an offshoot of the evolutionary process that created the universe or something. It's like a story that takes place over 6,000 years or something, but it's also very grounded. And Chloe Zhao apparently really pushed to have as much physical location shooting as possible. And there was an interview with Kevin Feige from Marvel saying that she was really adamant, and they had to really win over Disney at please let us do all these actual physical location shoots and stuff. Not as much, a lot of sets and stuff, but not as much CGI and stuff. There's also a quote from Kevin Feige where he said there's this scene in The Eternals apparently where there's a beach, and there's all this mist rising off the beach and the light, and it's just this gorgeous cinematic scene. And then he said he watched Nomadland and saw that exact same shot in Nomadland, and his quote was something like, I understood then that this was not just something she was trying to bring to Marvel, this is her signature style. So apparently the movie is just, from all the reports from people who have maybe seen bits of it or insiders, apparently this movie is just going to fucking blow everyone away.
Awesome.
So I wouldn't be surprised. Again, it's very early to say, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Eternals maybe in some sort of Oscars race next year. Especially if Chloe Zhao was behind it, just directed it and everything. So
when's it out?
End of this year. No trailer for that yet, but I guarantee you in the next few weeks we're going to get Eternals, directed by Academy Award-winning director Chloe Zhao, Nomadland, whatever. They've been waiting, guaranteed.
Sure.
We got the Shang-Chi trailer a couple of weeks ago. We'll get the Eternals trailer very soon, with that attached to it at the end. They've been waiting. Very quickly, don't look at this. Did you look at that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I just saw it come up.
This is the Academy Awards by the numbers. This is the studios who took away the most awards this year. Who do you think number one studio is that took away the most awards? I'm saying here they took home 7 awards. What studio took away 7 awards this year at the Academy Awards?
Well, I don't think it's going to be a traditional one.
Well, it's either... Well, yeah, it can be any of them.
Netflix or someone like that, probably.
Yeah.
Really?
Netflix. And this is where Netflix's fucking model of throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks really works. Just pump out a whole bunch of shit, buy up a whole bunch of... Where they've won all these is because they will go to the festivals like Sundance and all them and just fucking buy up all the independent films for their own distribution. So most of the stuff you see on Netflix as a Netflix original is like a film they bought from a festival. So they ended up walking away with like 7 awards. I couldn't name what films other than Mank, which walked away with 2 awards, I think. But other Netflix films were in there and took away 7 awards this year. Disney came second with 5. So 2 of those would have been from Nomadland, because that was a Fox film, but Disney obviously distributed it through the buyout. 2 would have been for Soul. And then the third one, maybe Nomadland won a 3rd award. I'm not too sure. Warner Brothers came in with 3. Amazon and Sony Pictures Classics came through with 2. Focus Features with 1 and A24 with 1 in the end as well. So, yeah, there you go.
Signs, isn't it? Netflix.
Yeah, definitely. The streamers. You've only got 2 major studios in there, by the way. Disney and Warner Brothers.
Oh, yeah, and we got Sony.
Well, so Sony Pictures Classics is like their independent... That's where they release all the independent films. Right. So I guess you'd count that as one of the majors anyway.
But look at Netflix and Amazon.
Crazy, man. God. What a world.
Oh, God.
Actually, one thing that was interesting, when we're talking about like the digital world and stuff, I saw an article which compared the Oscars ratings, the viewership of the Oscars this year, to the viewership of the Game Awards, which is the big, it's like the Oscars of the game world. So if you look at 2016, the Oscars had 34.4 million viewers, and the Game Awards had 3.8 million. You look at this year, 9.8 million for the Oscars and 83 million for the Game Awards.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, gamers.
Gaming's big, isn't it?
Fucking a professional gamers are making more than Hollywood stars now. It's insane. It's crazy. Well, the world has just taken this turn.
Well, there was that survey done a couple of years ago about asking the kids in high school to name 10 of their top celebrities that they know. Yeah. And they were, they're all YouTubers and they're all gamers and all that sort of
creators stuff. And influencers, insane. And that is probably where...
And they didn't know who people like Robert De Niro was.
Yeah, Brad Pitt or any of them.
Will Smith and all those
guys. So that's where a lot of that, because again, when I was a kid, everyone would watch the Oscars. Everyone who was interested in movies and stuff, they were the big celebrities of the day, Hollywood. People are falling out in favour with Hollywood now.
Yeah.
And because all these younger generations have now grown up with YouTube and streamers and creators and Instagram and all this shit, that these Hollywood people are now losing their grasp over the entertainment sphere. So you've got 9.8 million people tuned into the Oscars, which is your generation, my generation probably, who are still watching them, and then all the younger ones who would have been watching them 20 years ago are now not watching them.
They're watching gaming
awards and shit like that, which is nuts. God. We're running very low on time here. I've got one more very quick thing that I do want to say. Last week we spoke about Jerry Beck, animation and film historian. He was talking about, there was like a thing that he'd written on Facebook. It was like a reply to someone's question. He was asked whether there's plans to commemorate Daffy Duck or Tweety's anniversaries over this next year, because they did the Bugs Bunny 80th anniversary Blu-ray set. Someone asked if they're going to do the same for Daffy and Tweety. And he said, because he does a lot of work with Warner Brothers when they're doing these classic animation Blu-ray releases through the Warner archives. Okay. Anyway, he said, the company is slowly transitioning away from physical media. There are no plans for any classic cartoons, blah, 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 blah. This includes, but the main crux of it was him saying, company is slowly transitioning away from physical media, includes both Warner Archive and regular Warner Home Video. You'll still see some new releases from both during the rest of the year, but those were planned out last year. Next year is when this year's changes will be felt. He came out this week and kind of rectified what he was trying to say. Right. So posted on his Facebook, wow, I blew up the internet. Looks like a little response I made to a cartoon fan wondering if Daffy or Tweety's anniversary would be celebrated on DVD and Blu-ray has blown up and gone viral. First of all, anyone claiming that Warner Brothers is planning to phase out DVD and Blu-ray beginning in 2020 has taken my words and blown them way out of context. Way out of context. Secondly, I do not work for Warner Brothers. I occasionally work freelance as a writer and consultant to their home video group. I know nothing about the inner workings of that department. A few days ago, I was asked a few questions by anxious fans worried about the future of physical media, and unfortunately, from my point of view, I don't have anything new to report. Warner's is restoring their classic cartoons for HBO Max, and it's obvious that their streaming services where Warner Cartoon Library will live on for the time being. But I repeat, I do not know anything about what's going on concerning their home video department. I do know that DVDs and Blu-rays will continue to be produced and that the department still exists. All we can do is hope that they will continue to release their cartoon shorts, physical media. That's all I know. That's all I can say about this matter. Almost sounds like Warner's was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly right.
What the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah, you gotta go and post something on your Instagram page and tell people that you were speaking shit.
Yeah. Fuck. So I don't know what to take of all that. But what I take from that is that Jerry, who is someone I really, really respect, I read all of his works, and I use them to reference my text and stuff, and he's always very in the know on stuff. I think that he probably has an inkling or has heard that, yeah, we're probably starting to phase out the physical media side. Maybe people did take that a bit out of proportion, like it's dead, it's finishing. Like we were saying next week, it sounds like they're slowly starting to end it. Yeah. But then what he's saying here is that obviously there's still going to be DVDs and Blu-rays. It's not ending altogether. I'm still getting that same message from that though, which is like their focus is going to be on streaming and Blu-ray and DVD. While they're still happening, the physical media side is kind of going to be phasing out. But anyway,
because we sort of had that reaction too after hearing that. We thought, that's right. Because we've been talking about it for ages. Yeah, phasing out physical. But then we thought, that's the death nail.
Yeah, but I think more so what he's saying here now is like, well, I don't work for them. I don't know everything. He's probably just saying from what I understand is this is the way it's going. But now he's probably going, so many other things could be happening in the studio that he's not privy to, that he shouldn't be used as that spokesperson to be like sensationalized or be the one that says, oh no, this is the end. So it'll be interesting to see. I thought I'd bring that up anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. We're over 2 hours now. Should we do a couple of subscriber questions?
Couple of quick
We've only got a couple in this week anyway, so let's do them quickly.
Living my Jeff life. Go, Jeff. Yep, hey, David and Rick, here's a question for you both. What's your favourite non-Disney animated film? And or, question for the viewers, have you all dived into Dave's past videos? You'll be happy if you do so. Do also, small request, can we get a g'day? G'day. How's it going?
What did he say there in the next?
Sincerely, an ignorant American.
G'day, Jeff. How you going?
G'day, mate. G'day, Jeff. How's it hanging, buddy?
Okay, that's out of the way. Favourite non-Disney animated film for me is one of the greatest movies of all time, Shrek.
Oh, can I say Toy Story? This is not Disney. I don't know. I couldn't think of one, to be honest.
Let me think of what you like. Chicken Run.
Chicken Run was good. I enjoyed
that. I don't know.
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
I like those.
Counts.
Really enjoyed those.
Yeah, there you go. Next one.
Johnny Marrero.
Yeah. G'day, Johnny.
Hey, Dave, I have a big question. Big one.
Big one. Here we go.
After reading this article from Variety about expanding franchises from streaming services, do you believe the Rugrats relaunch will get the same treatment as SpongeBob and Avatar? Expand with multiple spin-offs and movies for Paramount+. Also, if the Loud House movie does well on Netflix, could we see a sequel for it or maybe a
Casa Grande's
movie for Paramount+.
All right. I feel like myself and Johnny have had this discussion before.
Okay.
On Twitter. But last time also he was asking because Nickelodeon's talking about building like a whole universe. Now this Avatar is not James Cameron Avatar. This is Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is like an anime thing, big anime franchise. And Nickelodeon is talking about expanding Avatar and SpongeBob into universes. Like cinematic universes where they make a bunch of spin-offs with a bunch of different characters, a bunch of movies, a bunch of shows, just make these huge universes like what Marvel's doing or whatever. And Johnny asked me a little while ago if I think they'll make a Rugrats universe. I said, I don't think so.
No,
you can't make a universe
so.
out of a bunch of babies in diapers running around.
No.
He then suggested, you can make like a Reptar movie or like a different spin-off like they did the All Grown Up thing.
Yeah.
Or you could do all these things. I don't ever see them making Rugrats into a universe.
No.
No way.
No.
I don't see that happening. But again, maybe as you've phrased it here, possible they could maybe do a movie, a TV movie. It's a thing that they do now.
Yeah.
The TV movie, or they might do some sort of spin-off thing here. I don't really see it happening though, like on a large scale anyway. Rugrats. It just doesn't seem like something that really lends itself to that kind of formula, that kind of world building. How do you world build on the Rugrats? Babies going on adventures. I don't see it.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
I wouldn't have thought so.
If the Loud House movie does well on Netflix, will we see a sequel for it? Probably. I think they'll run. Apparently, well, because people have been asking me about Loud House for years. Will you be doing Loud House Evolution? So the show's been on for like 6 years.
Yep.
No, I won't. But I get it from a lot of people, like we talk about the Loud House or this shit. So they announced the Loud House movie going to Netflix a little while ago. Or there was like first look. I did a video, 15,000 views.
Yeah.
What the hell? This week they announced another first look, did a trailer. I did 2 videos. One got like 20,000 views. The other got 10,000. So it's a huge thing. I think there's like a big fan base here. It's like a newer Nickelodeon show. If the movie does well on Netflix, I imagine they'll do another one.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
just the thing that they do.
Yes, for sure.
For sure. Next one?
Angela Perez. Personally...
Angel, I think.
Oh, what did I say? Angela.
Angela.
Angel Perez.
Yeah. Long-time viewer.
Personally, I'm not as into podcasts as most others seem to be. Definitely prefer scripted stuff. Mm-hmm. So this is my first time asking for your podcast, Dave. So I hope I'm not coming off as rude. No, not at all.
Not at all, my friend.
What incentive would you need to cover more animated series just like animated movies? For them to be good?
For them, yeah, it'd be good. I'll get in trouble for saying that because I think I've actually spoken to Angel before about this, saying, please cover more animated shows and series and stuff. I find it hard to cover series simply because there's a lot of you have to watch so much for it.
Yeah.
And so much of my content is just so
instantaneous.
I have to get out so quickly that I can't.
Topical.
It has to be topical. It has to be stuff that everyone's watching. Movies really hit that sweet spot. Cartoon characters really hit it. But when I do series and stuff, it's just a lot more hard work. And there's so many series out there that it just would make so much more work for me. And there's only so many hours in a day. And I have to just be really picky with what I cover. Obviously, you see me do like news videos for the Looney Tunes cartoons or the Loud House announced or something, but to like properly delve into series and stuff, it's just too much. It just feels like too much. So I don't know if it's about a matter of like incentive for me to do it. It's just give me more hours in the day to do more content for more stuff at the end of the day. Really, I've nothing against it, but it's just too much.
This is time restrictive. I'll give you one more. Alex's Movie Corner.
Yep.
Dave, what was your inspiration for starting your YouTube channel? I'm loving what you do. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it.
I think you've answered this.
I've answered this a few times. I'm always happy to answer it. I feel like it was just I've always wanted to get into film and TV. I've been passionate about film and TV. It was just an avenue that kind of I found and thought this would be fun to play around in for like a little hobby. And then when things started to take it a bit more seriously, I started to think, I could do this if I'm getting the views, I'm getting the followers, I'm getting paid for doing it. I'll do it as long as I can sustain it. So that's the inspiration, really. I don't know how you can say.
Well, you wanted to
anything
share
more.
your love.
I wanted to share my love and my passion and stuff with people. I like making people happy. I love telling these stories. My cartoon evolution videos in particular, I love telling stories that I feel like haven't been as well documented in more recent times, particularly in a visual medium. And I like being able to share them in that way and keeping these stories alive for new generations and for informing people and entertaining people. I don't know, just get a kick out of it. So that's really it. So thanks for writing in, Alex. And at that, it's a long show today.
Long one today.
It was a venting show though, so we vented. We vented a lot of
Sleep
venting.
easy now.
Oh my god, I will sleep easy now. Maybe I'll stop sleeping in. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe.
Look, guys, thank you again for listening. The podcast, of course, goes out every single Monday on all the podcasting platforms, which includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible. A visual element also goes out on YouTube, as you know, if you're watching that out there. It goes out on the Monday as well, but if you're a patron supporter, you can get that on 2 days early access on the Saturday. So head over to patreon.com/DaveLeeDownUnder and support me for as little as $1 a month.
$1.
Not only gets you the early access, but it supports my channel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
At the moment, because we have moved the videos over to another channel, my videos are no longer monetized. This is the podcast videos, no longer monetized until I get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watch time. I have to pay every month to have this podcast on the platforms. So the Patreon, the money that's coming in from patrons at the moment is covering, is paying off what we need to pay to keep this podcast alive, basically, which I really appreciate.
So we need you to get the word out.
Yeah, get the word out. Subscribe to the new channel.
If
View
you haven't
the videos.
subscribe. Please subscribe.
And yeah, if you'd like to support for just that little bit extra for, over at the Patreon, that's much appreciated. Of course, you can find me over on YouTube at Dave Lee Down Under, on Twitter, Instagram. Links in the description, right down the below of every single podcast. If you're listening on the podcast platforms, please leave a review.
Only good reviews, though.
Yes, please. I would love them. YouTube preview. Last week, I dropped a bunch of cartoon news. They were mostly like animated things. There's like a whole bunch of animated shit that dropped last Tuesday night. I just had to cover it all. Stuff about the Flintstones, this new adult Flintstones remake they're doing. The Loud House stuff, the first look at Sony's Vivo, new movie that's coming from Sony, a bunch of other shit. I did a trailer breakdown for Luca, Pixar's Luca, which you can go and take a look at as well. This week, I don't have a lot planned. I'm still working on an evolution at the moment, so I'm trying to have that out the week after. I think it's doable. If it is doable, I will announce that during this week, and then that'll go out. So that's this week's task for me. So usually when I'm like focused on a task, the videos, you'll notice that there's like a week where I don't upload a lot. That's usually what's happening.
Yeah.
So this week it's probably going to be pretty quiet unless there's like news or some trailer drops or some shit like that. Other than that, stay tuned. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you here again. Once again, 30 episodes. I really appreciate all the support. We both do. And take it easy. We love it. Take it easy. Thank you so much.
Stay safe.